like that alone is so prestigious, bro. And then on top of that, add to the biggest prize pool in Street Fighter history. I think maybe in fighting game history, that is even a grander scale of events here. But right now, Gran Todokai starting off again, beating him to the punch with the OD projectiles. Well done.
Yep, and now has this full screen here trying to keep Luke out. See, but a lot of times the best thing to do is just to slowly walk your way into that range. Because if he's scared you're going to jump over a ghost or something, that leaves you the ability just to walk forward. Oh, no, another shimmy. Gran Todokai's got to be careful. That's twice now he's fallen for the shimmy in a very short succession.
He's been pretty throw happy for sure in this set so far. And SoulVNG's been pretty parry happy. So I wonder if he's going to try to expose that a little bit. You can see the throws landing now. Maybe looking for that exact thing, but he baits out a huge ODDP instead. The damage, bro. The setup afterwards. Departure coming in hot. Drive impact to lock you out of it. Quick little cameo for the command throw.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, SoulVNG parrying a lot. Gran Todokai yesterday kept doing the button into ghost feint, drive rush throw. He actually baited SoulVNG into the drive parry, but he went for the attack instead.
Oh, and look, that's exactly what he did right there. He didn't parry, but it still worked out, right? Just catches you hesitating because you see the ghost start up.
Yeah, that's definitely something. Oh, he made it right over the Sandblaster. Empty teleport into throw.
Nice, and he got the landing frame punish on the cross-up jump. Beautiful stuff. That's another thing that people need to look for when you don't or are not confident in your cross cuts or don't have a cross-up button. Try to walk forward and catch the landing frames, man. You get a punish counter.
Oh, he baited it, but not quite low enough on the hit, but the fake, he did go for it there. Here we go. Are we going to get it? Dun, 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 dun.
The modern Luke, is he actually...
the classic, the high-level strategy of crouching, medium kick, crouching, medium kick, crouching, medium kick. That button is so good with JP. Oh, man.
100%, man. Sometimes, at first it don't succeed. You just got to try again. Remember what Aaliyah taught us.
All right. So, 2-1 at this point?
Yes, indeed, for Gran Todokai.
Gran Todokai definitely looks like he's kind of in control right now. That last game was clean. And you see how he's handling that modern Luke. But, you know, JP does have the ability to keep you at bay where the modern isn't necessarily going to help you as much.
Exactly. One of the big things I think that makes JP so successful is that he doesn't have to directly engage with the opponent as much as a lot of other characters, right? Because of the projectiles and how far he gets to do stuff.
And that burned out.
Though, baited out twice. And regular amnesia, though. That one works heavily. It actually is going to waste most of the burnout time for Gran Todokai. This is a huge break.
Nice. Yeah, because remember, even while you're hitting opponents and making them block, you builds extra gauge back. Never mind, he died. So.
That was a real good way to play it from SoulVNG. Like, he didn't get thirsty in the corner. He was like, oh, he's almost done with burnout. Let me commit to a drive impact. He just waited for the jump, anti-aired it, kept the corner control. That was the most important thing.
I was talking about all the good things Gran Todokai did, and he just died. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll stop talking now.
Yeah, SoulVNG played that round really well on top of everything else.
Burns himself out, and that, again, is a terrible situation to be in when you're going up against a JP.
Especially with 2 bars on deck, Gran Todokai, he could try to let that level 2 loose. But I think right now he wants to earn some hits first, put SoulVNG down while still maintaining the bar.
Yeah, and there he goes. That has ended the burnout right there. He's back. Oh, and then immediately gets caught by the drive rush low. So here we go. What's the setup here? Oh, he doesn't go for anything fancy.
There's the level 2 setup off the target combo. Just jumps up, tried to get a throw bait, but instead will throw the parry.
And again, if you're fighting against JP, sometimes getting that punish throw, losing 2,000 lives is actually kind of better.
You show me green, I'll show you a modern super.
Oh, no, he was trying to, he did not expect the jump at all. Level 1 Gran Todokai. Match point.
And this guy JP builds a lot of meter, huh? He used the level 2. I guess he had like an extra meter at that point already. So using the level 1, but already built up a whole nother bar here for round 3.
Oh,
I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah. Shades of Rolento there. You know? Oh, man.
And again, just establishing these projectiles. Oh, he's making SoulVNG think about so much right there. He even caught the modern man hesitating. Oh, no more, though.
Good reaction.
Level 1, keep him at bay. Oh, level
is that
1
gonna
on the
hit?
neutral
No,
jump, but
too far.
that's unfortunate.
And you know what? Even though you don't get the punish on that, you are happy that he spent that meter.
Oh, yeah, big time. Grand Todokai will be pleased with that one. He doesn't have to worry about him having a bar for a little bit longer.
There's that jump medium punch hit so far away. And now, yeah, you're just sitting there so worried about the portals. Oh, he should be able to finish off here. He's got the level 2, doesn't even need anything. That was all it took right there. And Grand Todokai will be entering grand finals against Kusanagi in a rumback.
That was clean, man. The drive rush overhead, that's really, I think, one of the biggest things about JP is the fact that he can set up the departure and then just walk at you or drive rush at you. The world is his oyster at that point, and you just have to be at his beck and whim. You really have to either pick your spot perfectly to try to reversal out of the pressure, disengage by jumping back, or you just got to deal with the mix-up. And right there, he got the overhead.
Oh, man. And again, JP just has the ability to just juggle you for days. It's so... it's brutal because, again, you know, the character that you're trying to get in on, he turns you around one time and then you can lose all this health.
That was such a big amnesia on the drive impact, man. Even burnt out like that, the fact that he still had something to thwart the pressure of Sol VNG there. That's demoralizing too, man. You works very hard to get this burnout on JP. You're like, finally, I can impose my will, and he just stuffs it, and then you're back to full screen trying to get in again. It does not feel good at all.
Yeah, and then caught the overhead that time. And again, look at that damage on that. I was fully expecting he needed to spend some form of meter, but he actually didn't need it. But that's gonna put him in grand finals. But like you said, this is the long road here. You have to send Kusanagi to loser's bracket before you can eliminate him. So he has to win 2 sets of 3 out of 5 versus Kusanagi. Kusanagi, who is in prime position to qualify once again for Capcom Cup, and he's going to try to do it in the lore match again. It is Ken versus JP.
And we saw this in Winners Finals, right? These exact 2 same players playing this exact same matchup, and Kusanagi looks so prepared for everything that Grand Todokai was bringing out. He took it 3-0 in that Winners Finals, and it wasn't a close 3-0. Sometimes it is close. That one was rather convincing, so I want to see the type of adjustments Grand Todokai makes. Obviously, Todokai, again, got top 24 at EVO just a couple of weekends ago, so he is a very capable player of making these high-level adjustments, and now is the time to do so. Capcom Cup 10 berth on the line. Kusanagi versus Grand Todokai. Let's get it.
Yeah, for sure. Grand Todokai.
And he started the same exact way, right? The drive rush, crouch medium, kick into the drive cancel. That's what we saw. And then the plus frame fireball set up. Is this a replay? Are we not watching the exact same Winners Finals right now?
Kusanagi is coming out, firing on all cylinders. Lord. That's what you'd like to say, but it is definitely happening here because Ken also puts you on fire too, so it is an appropriate statement. And look at this challenging. He knows Grand Todokai loves that sequence. Button, fake ghost, drive rush, and Kusanagi's like, look, I've scoped that out. I've studied you. You cannot surprise me. I have you on lockdown.
Man, he baited himself. He was like, you're trying to bait me into a parry? Bait yourself, bro. Wow. What? The crouch medium punch hitting the fireball hurt box from that far was bonkers.
Uh-oh. Punish counter throw, 2,000 damage.
And you can see, Kusanagi, he loves that empty jump. This time he tried to drive rush in, get stuffed again. But the DP teleport.
And I swear that started with him behind him.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how the DP went the right way.
Right?
That was, I don't know, I was confused about that one. The neutral jump button right there. He actually got a hit, but wasn't expecting it. Now just a walk-up jab counter hit. He is cooking. Level 3 as well. This is going to put Grand Todokai on life support.
And again, it's one of the powers Ken's have. One of the only characters that can go into a crouch light punch and end in a heavy punch to get bigger combos.
And again, Todokai just trying to drive rush out of the situation right there. But classic Ken pressure, the stand jab, the crouch medium kick. That nets him so many hits in this game, bro.
Yeah. So again, look at this. Kusanagi is almost looking like he just left off where, he's just going where he left off last time.
Looked exactly like Winners Finals.
Right out of the gate. Grand Todokai, I mean, at this point, you just got to sit down and just be like, okay, what is happening here? What do I do against this guy? And really try to figure it out. But a lot of it is the fact that Kusanagi is just not giving him any room to breathe at all. He is rushing down in about as this is like the definition of rush that stuff down
Yeah,
right
100%.
now, you know?
This is suffocating offense from
Oh,
Kusanagi,
and then
right?
he even jumps over the EX Ghost, that perfect timing.
Oh, and then again, that's a frame kill setup as
yeah.
well. The OD Fireball stuffing the Amnesia right there. It beats throws, it beats strikes, it does not beat projectiles.
And look at this, 83 seconds left on the clock. Grand Totokai almost down.
Oh, yeah, no. You can't do that on Kusanagi. We saw a couple of players get away with that before. Kusanagi's not going to let you jump out for free on the meaty throw attempts.
80 seconds left on the clock right there. What a fast round. And yeah, Kusanagi is definitely trying to speed run through this one. Oh, but he went into the Jinrai, so he's going to be fine.
Yeah, it was funny. He like went for the combo anyway, right? And then the Jinrai pressure is good even on block. So caught Grand Totokai slipping a little bit. Oh,
that was punish counter. That is actually a straight up punish counter.
With punish the stand, medium kick attempt. But you see Kusanagi, he was expecting the jump. He was already feeling frisky on the ground. Baits out the parry for the punish counter throw. He is cooking on all cylinders right now. This is first round draft pick straight out the kitchen, Kusanagi, bro.
Oh, no. Is this going to kill?
Oh, indeed it does. And a 2-0 lead in what feels like 30 seconds total that the set's been going on.
Oh, my. Yeah, this is, I mean, look, Grand Totokai, this is one of those mentally really difficult places to be right now because you're just like, I can't even touch him right now.
No.
Like, what am I even supposed to do? So if you are Kusanagi right now, like you're the shark right now.
Yeah.
You smell blood. You go in for the kill at this point.
Bro. You keep showing him different things. You keep messing his mind up. That's what the objective is right now. And he's got a 2-0 lead. And, you know, if you're Kusanagi, you just got to make sure you don't get too reckless, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to go with different looks, but that are still stable to your game plan.
Try stealing a couple of turns with an EXD or an
Oh,
ODDP just to be like, you know, be like -2 and then just do it. And if you can do that and it works, then you're just, then the opponent's like,
That's closing the casket at that point for sure. That is mental damage that is not going to be able to be come back from in an instance like this. But right now, I like this from Grand Totokai, right? You got to take some time, bro. Get a breather going. He's running amok. He's doing whatever he wants. He's bringing that chaotic pace to the set. That's not what JP's trying to play with, right? He's trying to stable it out.
He's definitely on Discord right now, just being like, hey, guys, any ideas
what
right
in
now?
the boo? They're all like channel cockaroo, bro. So you just got to perfect parry everything.
Yeah,
that's all you can do at this point.
Just perfect parry everything. It's easy. It's so simple. Come on,
like
dude.
In the post-game interview at Gamers Day, what Kakaru said was, bro, I tried a bunch of different things and they didn't work. Perfect parry was the only thing that was working for me, right? So, I mean, this is kind of where Totokai has found himself. A lot of the answers that he's going with, they are getting thwarted. So right now, maybe the perfect parries are going to have to come out. I mean, it's obviously way easier said than done. Consistently getting that 2-frame timing on all these different options that Ken is going to be throwing at you. I mean, that's why we celebrated Kakaru's performance so much.
And you know what? What's going to happen? He's going to be like, I'll try to perfect parry everything. And then Kusanagi's going to go for like 5 throw loops.
Exactly.
You know? And you're just going to be like, you know what? All right. Good on you. GG, shake my hand, you know?
And we've already seen that from Kusanagi, right? Going with the drive rush early jab to bait out the parry, get the punish counter throw. Like, he's a step ahead. He's making every right decision.
Here we go. Does Grand Totokai have anything left in the tank at this point? Does he have any adjustments or new looks to throw at Kusanagi? Kusanagi right back into the offense as we've seen a million times.
Oh, even after the Jin right there, he was trying to see if he was going to press a button on the negative frames, put his own parry up.
All right, no anti-air. See, he's
he's
so
man.
He's focused on so many things. He doesn't even have the crouch heavy punch ready to go. Here we go. Press the button. Got frame trapped.
Unfortunate right now, Kusanagi. Again, going with that meaty stand. Heavy punch setup as well. Oh, okay. He's found that one perfect parry is here. You got 31 more to go, fam.
Yep, exactly. And that'll get you the comeback. I mean, if you get 31 more and it doesn't...
No! The error code you saw in real time, our faces. We are making the exact same ones everyone at home is making. That was unfortunate.
The game was like, no. No. Look, we're going to spare you, Grand Totokai. He got the jump in on you. Like, no. I mean, this
Cut the tape.
exactly. I mean, if we let that match keep going, this stream would have to be, 18 and up.
Exactly. Yeah,
the violence was just too much.
It's like the Murdiza combos where you see punish counter and then you just cut to the body.
Yeah.
We didn't need to see the violence,
see
bro.
the jump heavy punch. You win. Yeah, Ken wins. Exactly.
That was a parental advisory for explicit content right there for sure. So
I'm sure we'll figure out what's going on. I'm sure the guys in production right now are going to figure out what's going on. Probably try to bring up the replay. Hopefully it was just a view thing again.
I'm assuming so.
We're having the hurricanes going on over here, so
Well, Hillary.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully it was just a spectator thing, but hopefully we can get that replay back up for you guys. I think we just got started in this, right?
Yeah.
Basically, Kusanagi got a nice jump in on Grand Totokai, so we'll get there in just a second.
There we go. So, this is the beginning of the match, right? Grand Totokai searching for some answers. Kusanagi, though, has just been so consistent with stuffing a lot of what he wants to do. Yeah, that's where he was looking for the parry attempts again, right?
We're going to get the perfect parry off of the backdash into the Dragon Lash in the corner.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. The essence of Kakeru.
Yeah, here we go. Essence of Kakeru.
Right. Oh. No, not quite yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Gets the full combo first. Kusanagi, of course, rocking and rolling in this instance. Wants to test what the Totokai's doing. There's the perfect parry we were talking about.
Yeah, and he has the side switch here, but then he just gets the raw jump in.
Oh, yeah, and drive rush out with that crouch jab, just committing to it so early. Tried to bait that out there. And from that distance, right, really recognizing the fact that stand fierce doesn't whiff often from JP, but Kusanagi knew the distance. Again, like, he seems very much nuanced in this matchup now.
Yeah, and so here we go. Oh, he did it again. Dude, he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
There it is again. He's got to learn that reversal is off the table, fam.
Yeah, you might as well just pretend it's not there when he has those kind of. Oh, no. He just built the level 3. That is it. Kusanagi 6-0, 3-0 in winners finals, 3-0 here in grand finals over Grand Totokai. And like I said, by the time we got to this game here, I think Grand Totokai, I mean, again, I'm not saying he's, not mentally strong, but, those kind of matches, those 5 matches that you went through, it's a tough one.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I would have just been like, nah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, for
Congratulations, dude.
In the words of the great Kendrick Lamar, you people should know what time it is. He didn't say people. He said another word that I say sometimes, but I can't say on camera right now. I am your host, Big Hollywood, Rob TV, and I am joined with none other than the uber famous, the moderately tall, but not that much taller than me, but the camera make it look worse, Brian F. What's up, Brian?
I'm chilling here. Glad you're handling that intro for me. Appreciate that for all the people out there. We're here to talk about some Street Fighter, though. Of course, it's all about the Street Fighter here. And we had an amazing CPT event. Central America West has concluded, and I feel like, in some ways, a chapter has come to a close because we have finally booked Kusanagi's ticket into Capcom Cup after years of watching him come second place, and so many qualifiers to make it into Capcom Cup in those final years of Street Fighter V. He has, in dominant fashion, booked his ticket to Capcom Cup, rocking the most offensive Ken that I have personally played against, because actually I play a lot with these guys in ranked from this tournament, and his offensive style has translated perfectly over into Street Fighter 6. Ken is the character for him, and he took it in dominant fashion. Looking at the brackets here, 6-0 over Totokai, and let's
6-0, bro.
3-0 in winners finals, 3-0 in grand finals, and that is, top 17 Totokai from Evo. So Kusanagi, hats off to you. I feel like we finally found the perfect recipe to get him over the edge and finally compete at the biggest stage in the world in the Capcom Cup.
Yeah, bro. Kusanagi, we talked about mental stack last week, bro, and he is one of the kings of overloading his opponent's mental stack. That's like a huge part of his game plan. He stays on offensive, and he wants his opponent to have to react. So he is looking ridiculous in his anti-air game. I mean, everything.
And he keeps the pace extremely high, like we mentioned with the mental stack. Like, he is the most offensive Ken I've ever played, and to great effect. Like, he knows how to rush you down.
And Kusanagi, I feel like his playstyle was like that in 5. Of course, he was extremely aggressive, but it definitely seems that either through the game mechanics fit him even better, or just through him even get stronger as a player, he's able to he looks even more crisp. And I do think that this game,
it favors his style,
favors his play style.
Yeah, and let's keep it real. He was using Sakura in Street Fighter V for the most part.
Too. That's true.
And Sakura was a strong character, but no one would argue she's top 5 by any means, right? And Sakura was a character that excelled at that aggressive play style. She had to go for a lot of throw resets and had to encroach on people's space in ways where it wasn't such a black and white situation. Like, yeah, you could jab check me to prevent me from approaching, but what if I press the button here and counter hit confirm, etc., right? Playing very much on the fear of the offensive options that he had to keep always encroaching in your space. And Ken does the same thing in Street Fighter 6, but in general, the game is designed to be played at a faster pace, right? I think it's a little bit easier to stop that approach in Street Fighter 5, but Street Fighter 6, baby, we got Drive Rush, we got DI.
He was born in it. It's the whole you've adapted to the darkness. I was born in it.
Right. He was ready for this system.
Yeah, this is just, I've been putting myself in the scramble or in these dangerous situations. It's not like he went from playing this super slow-paced game to now he got to be aggressive.
Right.
So we're seeing him flourish, and I'm telling you, man, Todokai has been cooking. Like, you brought up what he did at EVO, and even in this tournament. He was
second
absolutely
place.
phenomenal.
He was definitely cooking the competition. I want to bring up Todokai's EVO run just to give some context to the level of competition here. Looking up his bracket, he ended up dropping to losers in round 3 pools, which is, that's top 256 out of 7,000 already. So he already did some work to get there to Knuckle Do. 2-1, he lost to Knuckle Do. He goes in losers bracket to beat Xiao Hai, beat Hot Dog 29, Valmaster, Kills You, Yanai, before finally being stopped by Momochi. So these are international killers that have won premieres, super premieres, World Warrior events, gone to Capcom Cup. Like, he was cooking these people with his phenomenal JP play, and it took Kusanagi, who I think is really well versed in the matchup, to shut him down. So hats off to Todokai for an amazing run as well. The other story here, though, that I want to bring up, third place, Sol VNG.
Sol VNG fire, bro. He's so fire.
Yeah, if you haven't encountered his playstyle, he's another one of the people that I actually play pretty frequently. It's a different game when you run into Sol VNG because he is day one modern Luke, so he's not just playing it for the memes. He's not just doing it, just to say, hey, I'm going to play a little bit different for fun. No, this is his dedicated main, and Sol VNG qualified for Capcom Cup in 2022 as well. Super strong player. As he didn't come into Street Fighter 6 brand new, picking up modern. He switched to modern and said, this is the effective way for me to play. And you can see it because the way he uses things like Luke's level 1, which is like almost a hit scan half screen fireball, and his non-OD DP, because it's a very fast move, comes out one button. Like, he just nullifies options that you wouldn't be able to nullify. Like, I don't think you can just pick up modern and immediately do that, but that's what he has formulated his strategy around. He's practiced reacting to these situations. When I play him in ranked, for example, his main tool to stop Drive Rush is DP. Like, he doesn't bother. He'll be able to walk around and play neutral normally, not having to be buffering it preemptively. And then if he sees you turn green and fly at him, boo! No meter required. He just snipes you. Just forward punch if that's the input for modern Luke, and then he interrupts you like that. So if you're interested in how Luke can be played at a high level with modern controls, I think it's very strong. I think modern Luke is one of the strongest modern characters in the whole cast. Check out Sol VNG. So shout outs to you for shaking up the results there with a strong third place finish. But at the end of the day, it's classic Street Fighter 6 Kusanagi taking that first place. And I'm just telling you, the rushdown is the way. Look out for the meaty DIs. Look out for the jumps. Look out for the Dragon Lashes.
Ken is perfect, man.
He's coming.
Ken is really, and of course, Kusanagi is playing amazing. Everybody's playing top tier, so it's the FGC, so we got to be very careful, right? If you are a good player, you should be playing top tier. So if somebody talks about the characters, that's just what we do in the FGC. Is no disrespect. So Kusanagi won because he is godlike. Now Ken is perfect. That's a bad man. We need to have a day where we do a Ken and JP analysis. Because there's some interesting. There's always characters that people are targeted and stuff on the internet. Right now, JP is more hated, but yeah, Ken is definitely OD, and it's interesting to see that matchup. We just saw the same matchup at Gamers 8 with Angry Bird versus Kakadu. Kakadu came out on top there, and then here we saw, of course, my man's Kusanagi came up on top over Grand Todokai. Maybe all he should have done is perfect parry 30 times, and he would have won. I don't know why he didn't think of that, Brian.
Right, just be an absolute robot and machine and just perfect parry everything in a 2-frame window on reaction and just win every game, right? But that's the beauty of Street Fighter 6 as it is because you can have those moments, and I think everyone is striving to have those because we're all using parry and everyone is attempting perfect parries in a lot of situations all the time. But how hot are you that day? I think that adds so much excitement and levels to even yourself. Like how sharp is my timing on this day? Before we used to be focused on like execution, earlier Street Fighter titles. How sharp is my execution that day? And that's shifted now to the defensive options, which I think really brings back that element of surprise and variety. Like you play out of their own mind for their own level. Even on days where I perfect parry things, I'm like, wow, I have never perfect parried this many things in a row in my life. I am impressed with myself. Like it allows those moments to happen. So yeah, Todokai, in another universe, he perfect parried every Dragon Lash, every fireball, and got the W. So maybe the next World Warrior events, maybe you can work on those perfect parry timings and take it through that means. Because we haven't seen the last of Todokai, haven't seen the last of any of these competitors. They have a whole season of World Warriors left in them, and Kusanagi will be, sitting pretty, twiddling his fingers, watching the competition, waiting to meet up with them again at Capcom Cup.
Kusanagi walks away with the CA West Championship. My man is representing his region at Capcom Cup. Man is trying to run up a milli or 400,000 or 200,000 or 100,000 or any all that bread that's up on the line. And of course, most importantly, my man building his brand up and all that and representing his region the right way. Who is going to be able to do that now, though? We've got North America West. We right here on our stomping grounds. You know what I'm saying? The trash talk get a little different over here. This is our first NA event that we've had of the year. And you know what, Brian? I'll put you on the spot. I'll give you my prediction first. Who is going to win this one? And you know what? I'm gonna put it all on the table. Chris Tatarian, okay?
Chris Tatarian is a good pick. That is such a good pick. He was unfortunately unable to compete at Evo. I thought he was going to go on a tear at Evo for sure.
I could have seen him top 6. He could have. I'm not saying
if he plays at his peak, I absolutely can see that. I think he's really consistent. So I think that's a good pick. But I honestly think Chris CCH. I think Chris CCH.
He hates JP too much, man.
No, but he hates him to the point where he's joined the dark side. He's used JP in grand finals and beat Knuckle in a tournament to claim it. So I respect that so much. When a player hates a character enough to say,
that's fire.
To say, screw it, I'm playing them too. So he has both a JP and a Ken. He used both in that tournament bracket. So he only used JP to counterpick Knuckle Guile and win ICFC, one of the big NA weeklies, usually over 400 people. So, he's putting his money where his mouth is and say, hey, this is the tool to use. I'm using it. So he has a Ken and a JP. So he's a menace. So I'm going to say Chris CCH if you already picked Chris T. And then, of course, Dark Neff might make an appearance. Samurai might do it. This region is super stacked. And so we can predict which way it's going to go. But it's all about the day of who's going to play hot that day, who has the perfect parries down, who has the reactions to the DI, and who's going to get the job done.
We are about to see right now NA West top 16.
Which one of these was the herbal medicine again? Oh yeah, this one. Probably. Now, here comes the airplane. Say ah. No! Some poisons can kill people in the thousands with that amount. Like botulinum toxin, it inhibits acetylcholine release, causing loss of muscle tone, lethargy, dizziness, visual impairment. heavy eyelids, intense thirst, loss of speech, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach distension, breathing difficulty, then respiratory failure.
He was obsessed, you see, with finding an appropriate vessel for this power.
Fight with all your heart!
We are supporting Capcom Cup 10 with a total prize pool of over $2 million.
It's showtime, baby! Guano takes it over Idol!
All right, you ready?
You don't want to miss it! Let him cook! Look at the damage! Look at that damage!
Now's not the time for jokes.
Your two-time Capcom Cup champion! It's Mena RD!
Yes, sir. It's that time again. It's the Capcom Pro Tour qualifier for NA West. And here with me, I have a very, very special guest. I've alluded to it for the last couple of weeks, and he's also put it on his Twitter. My name is Vicious, here with Sajam, and it feels so good to say, welcome back, man.
It's nice to be here. You guys got a nice little studio. You didn't tell me you guys have upgraded since the last time I've been here.
I wanted to keep it a surprise. I wanted to
I see.
do the whole blindfold thing and be like, hey, welcome to your new studio.
You guys got like a little Metro City backdrop and everything.
do,
It's
yeah.
pretty fancy here, I gotta say. You guys have upgraded while I've
The
been
air
away.
conditioning needs a little bit of work, but we're working on it, right? It's kind of
Right.
expensive here in Metro City.
Yeah, you have someone just fanning us with like a big leaf. It's pretty nice. That's
Yeah.
why we're not wearing anything too fancy for this. We're getting into the nitty gritty of it. Look, when you're fighting for this much money, things are gonna get hot. You know,
Oh,
this
hot
is
and
how it
sweaty,
goes.
that is for sure. And that's the exact kind of competition we are expecting with a lot of the players that we actually
Yes.
don't get to see too often online. And I do put a little asterisk on there. But we also have a couple of players that you have recognized from every
Yes.
single weekly that have been going on for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's true. And I saw the predictions, obviously. Robert Television predicting Chris T to win the tournament. Chris T, DQ.
And it's not a bad bet, though, right? It wasn't a
No,
bad bet at
yeah,
all,
yeah.
considering how well he's done overall.
Yes.
Also, recently taking World Warrior West.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why he couldn't make it, I think he had just mistimed it, is what it was.
Hitting the gym.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I didn't know how else to say it, but
Hitting
he-
the weights. He's like, tournament starts at 4. I'll be there any minute. Hitting the gym. It happens to all of us, huh?
It
Just
happened
missed
at 12 p.m.
It
by the
did, yeah.
way.
The tournament started
Everybody
earlier
started
today.
playing.
If you missed any of it, all the action, everybody was streaming their runs. Like, obviously, we're covering top 16 to 8, and then tomorrow we'll be doing all of top 8. But if you missed any of the action earlier today, you're like, oh, I wanted to see these hot, sweaty games. Of course, you can go find those on everybody's channels. A lot of the streamers are live, and I'm sure they're going to be live right now playing as well. But we're going to be covering the action from our perspective in case you guys are all curious.
Now let's take a look at the top 16 and who actually to follow along in case you're trying to follow all of those streamers and their games. Hopefully we have it up and ready. Boom, production already on it. Taking a look at the above winners quarterfinals players. We got Reynold versus YJK, and we're going to break down who each of these players have taken down in their route over into this top 16 spot, and it's going to be pretty exciting to let you know the nitty gritty. Followed by Chris CCH and Samurai, a West Coast classic, that is
Yeah.
for sure. Kizzy K versus JB, another classic. Then Snake Eyez versus Nephew. Dang, I haven't seen that name in a cool minute.
Yeah, and it's great too because Snake Eyez, defeated Justin Wong to make it here on the winner's side. But also an interesting thing about that is that these two run into each other online a lot. Like if you watch either of their streams, you're probably familiar. But they're both fighting to get that top MR rating online, right? Nephew always runs into him and he's like, Snake Eyez again, and so he just has to play against them.
Just like that, too.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly
He's
like
just
it,
like,
too.
not again. So he runs into him over and over. So these two have played many, many times online as well. Obviously, if they win their match, they're in top 8 for tomorrow. If they lose, they have to get one more on the loser side. And the loser side of the bracket is looking stacked too. I mean, it's a dangerous little place.
Oh, boy.
Jot versus PR Rog, which you see right there. That's our first match on it. Jot defeating Sonic Fox, by the way, to make it up in here, which is an interesting one. Speedkicks up against LPN. Also, Speedkicks we've seen doing really well in a lot of online tournaments. I feel like I haven't seen LPN as many online tournaments, but a lot of offline tournaments up in like NorCal and stuff.
That's right.
I've seen him a lot. Viscant and Strider. So Viscant, Evo champion himself in a Capcom game, not Street Fighter, but very strong player up against Strider, of course. And Justin Wong, who lost to Snake up there, and then Filipino Man, who lost to Nephew. So two of the people in our top 16 winner side trying to fight for that top 8. So juicy little bracket, all things considered, should be some really good matches. I think in both the winners and losers side, there's a lot of matchups you see all the time in online tournaments constantly, and also just, historically throughout this game's lifespan and other Street Fighter games.
Right. There's going to be a lot of strong contenders in regards to the meta, right? I do kind of like to harp in on the kind of characters that are played.
Right.
I did really dig the character diversity we had towards the end of Street Fighter V. It's slowly kind of deviating away from that as the meta develops, but it's not a wide variance away from it, right? We're still getting very, very strong characters and performances from characters that aren't really seen as much. One of them being Zangief. And I know you've been in the struggle for a minute, going through Zangief. Obviously, we have Snake Eyes, but I feel like we had this conversation a little bit off stream. No one really does it like Snake Eyes.
It's true, and he doesn't play in a lot of tournaments either, so he's not somebody that's easy to get practice against. I think you don't see him a lot of tournament results, and you're like, oh, is he just not playing? What's going on? But he's always playing the game and always doing well against players who are in tournaments. It's just he's usually not in brackets, right? And then he obviously entered this, made top 16, winner side. I don't think it surprised anybody, right? But yeah, I mean, to your point about the game's diversity, in the last game there was almost 50 characters, right? There was an absurd amount of characters in the roster, and in this game launches with much less, right? We only had one DLC and then 18 at the beginning, so yeah, I'm not that surprised. If you're for most people, I think myself included, my character's not in the game, so everybody's jumping to new characters and then picking a strong character.
I know that feeling, brother.
Yeah,
I've
so
had
happy.
an entire iteration. Hey, relax,
so happy
relax.
Yun's not in the game.
Relax,
yeah,
all right?
for all of us out there, thankfully Yun's not in the game. But yeah, for most people, they just go to a character that they think is cool or strong or whatever. And so, yeah, with only 18 characters and then Rashid added to the game, there's less characters for a lot of people to play.
Yeah, but overall, it's been very, very exciting to see as the meta develops, right? We're starting to see a lot more strategies kind of come towards some of the stronger characters. And even some of the characters that we rarely get to see is starting to see great results. Even in Japan, we talked about Kimberly and Oniki taking down one of the strongest Kens that we could ask for, Fujimura, right? So that meta is still being developed little by little. We've even seen some Lily players in the bracket.
That's true.
Dream King, I see you, by the way, that have been kind of doing work. So overall, it's been pretty interesting to see how many players in total actually had signed up. I think
650 or some absurd, it's a made-up number, yeah, which is cool. I mean, if you're interested in participating in your region, if your region hasn't happened yet, the signups are open. You can just go sign up on start.gg and get into your region's qualifier for Capcom Cup. Obviously, if you missed that as well, there's the World Warriors all over the world too. So those are the two ways to do it. If you're not going to be going out to Singapore or France for the offline qualifiers that are left, head over there, check out your World Warrior events, get in there. And if you're at the gym today, then you can just play in World Warrior the rest of the week. That's how you got to do it. He'll probably just win. I'm not going to lie. He'll probably just win World Warrior.
Yeah, he'd have to do it again and again and again up until the qualifiers where he hopefully can do it. But at the same time, it's such a coin toss because you have so much time in between for the meta to continue to develop.
True, yeah.
Right? But overall, as a region, I feel like the U.S. West has been doing some pretty significant damage in regards to putting themselves out there. But as a nation, I feel like there's just so much going on. I mean, U.S. West, and then you talk about Canada as well, kind of included in that same conversation. The East Coast has been pretty dominant as well.
Yeah, a lot of really strong players over there. I mean, particularly because Punk and Do, right, are
and Mena now.
And Mena, I suppose that's true.
Boston.
Yeah. Those three over there are three of the best players in the world. So it's not surprising to see that they're doing really well because they're ridiculous, right? So, a lot of the players on the West Coast that you're going to see here are also people who have done really well in other tournaments. But yeah, those three are dangerous people. I think some of them are watching the tournament this weekend, I think, too, which is cool. You can check it out and get their perspective on everything. But yeah, I mean, there are some dangerous people in this bracket. I think West Coast is always there's a lot of zoners over here. I don't know if that's just me, but whenever I see on ranked, I always run into a million defensive characters. So many JPs.
How did that
and
happen,
Dawsons
by the
and
way?
Giles.
This is the land of RTSD.
Yeah.
Why? What happened, man?
I mean, because we have the Sonic Foxes and the Reynolds and stuff playing JP, right? We see a lot of that character. I think everywhere JP is really popular. JP and Ken are the two. I feel pillars of the game that everybody's focusing on right now, right? They're the characters that everybody's oh my god, here they are. They're just going to be there. And it's, no surprise we're going to see that in our bracket. Even without Chris T's Ken, we have other Kens.
I did want to do that count. I wanted to see how many Kens, how many JPs. I mean, to be fair, the first match is what? JP versus Kimberly? And it could have been Ken versus Kimberly at first because Reynold have dabbled between both characters.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when we talk about this these two players coming up specifically. YJK has been doing phenomenal work over at his locals as well, and also even some online weeklies. I know he's been a part of ICFC. He has already reached like top 8 a couple of times over as well. But Reynold, I haven't seen as much other than him streaming.
Yeah. He plays in a lot of online tournaments and stuff. Yeah, so I've seen him in a bunch of tournaments as well. And yeah, as you mentioned, YJK has been playing in like tournaments offline and online. And you mentioned Kimberly. So we have Kimberly in the top 16. He was a guy player back and forth, right? So like obviously this is a character, makes a lot of sense for him. Played some 5-2. I feel like he mostly played in the beginning. I feel like I didn't see him as much later on in the game's lifespan. But Kimberly, it seems to like have caught his interest. He's playing the character and playing the game a lot more. So. Yeah.
And as we get into the first match, we got to talk about what these guys are actually playing for, right? Each and every CPT qualifier, of course, this is the total prizing. 5K in total. I didn't add it up. I just guessed. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm totally kidding. A lion's share with first place, $2,500. Second place with $1,200. But third and fourth, still a good chunk of change. Not bad for entering for free. $800 and $500 respectively. Pretty dang good.
Pretty solid, I have to say. And this is for all of the CPTs that you're going to see online, right? Which is really nice. And then there's obviously the prize pool. Like when you win, you qualify for the Capcom Cup itself, which has over $2 million in prizing with $1 million for the first place. So, you know, getting 5K for winning this, pretty nice, right? Like, you're like, oh, cool, 5,000 looks good. You know, I can pay 1 month's rent, like, great. You know, looks pretty solid on the West Coast, right? You're up in SF, but that, you know, $1 million first place is obviously the big deal. So a lot of people trying to get that money, obviously, and trying to get the qualifier spot. I think getting into Capcom Cup is the most important part for most people's minds of the qualifiers, whether it's the CPT qualifiers online or whether it's the World Warriors or going to stuff like EVO or the events happening offline. Right. You know, making it into Capcom Cup is the big one, I think, for most players, and that's what they're fighting for today.
I think it's a phenomenal thing to see this amount, right? Like high school me, when I was first getting into Street Fighter, I never thought we would ever see this amount of money being played for in a fighting game.
Yeah.
In any fighting game,
right? It is a ton of money. Look at that. Wow, 2 35-year-old gamers. Look at them go. Reynold and YJK.
I did not know YJK was 35.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, there's no way. Every single time.
I thought he was like 7 or 8 years younger than that, probably. I thought he was like maybe late 20s or something like that.
I also thought the same thing. I thought it was like either early 30s or just like barely getting into 30.
Yeah.
But
there you have it. So that's both of them up there. It should be, as we see here, JP versus Kimberly. Reynold also plays Ken.
Yes.
So, like, maybe, you know, that's the matchup that I know a lot of JP players maybe don't love. So there's maybe some merit to trying that out as well. We might see a Ken if something doesn't go well.
Yeah, just looking at the current route that they had coming in from Pool 1, Reynold had to take down Sonic Fox 2-1, took down Chris Wynn, also a Ken player from SoCal 2-0. YJK over in Pool 8 took down PR Rog 2-0, then Superfriend down 2-0 as well.
It's funny that YJK is in PR Rog's pool because they both go to the same local.
They literally played like this week prior to today's event.
Yeah, so our first match, no punish there on the back heavy punch from JP. But early start, slide, negative on hit right there.
Yeah, a little from that distance. That's so unfortunate too. Like you have the right idea of trying to close the gap.
And Kimberly, I mean, you know, great walk speed, really good movement. She's a character that has really strong mix-ups when she gets in, too. So she kind of is the archetype that you would expect to do well against JP. Wow, I like that slide idea, actually, from YJK. And there are strong JP players up in NorCal and obviously online. On
Arcade Rat, for sure. This is main training partner, Julio Fuentes.
Julio, yeah. Who a lot of you know, you're familiar with. Burnout, but you get the setup here. Doesn't go for the can. Just takes the elbow and block on the overhead from Reynold.
Are you going to get out of here? Just rushes as soon as YJK. Actually, unfortunately, I think it was just very lucky timing. YJK had gone for a jump.
Yeah. Ooh, and I like the command grab attempt and bolt burnout now. A little scary. Ooh, I like the run stop. Interesting idea from YJK.
The button was there for Reynold. I don't know what button it was from YJK. What was that, crouching medium kick? I think it was also too far, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, the back throw, you know, it's a little weird. You're kind of spaced out, but you can try to do something there. And it's kind of a weird spot, Reynold. I like that, snapping out the jab. Bad spot early, though. Throwing JP in the corner is so scary. Okay, it worked out, though, for YJK 3 in a row.
I'm glad it wasn't OD Amnesia, though. That would have been huge for YJK. But still, that's got to be a perfect. You got to spend it all.
Level 1, maybe? There it is, right at the end. Very, very good. You do the first part of the arc step and then blink afterwards, which we saw a few times with the elbow. That time with the level 1. Gets rid of a can and gets the kill.
Totally fine. Great on resource management. You lose one spray can, so be it. Totally fine for her.
Yeah. And hasn't even gone for a spray can setup yet. Wow, this is the first zoning we've seen from Reynold. I love that little walk up, by the way. He was totally looking for the jump.
Oh, double departure, stuck right. Ooh, okay. Keep him sandwiched in between, still get the full juggle. Give me that level 3. Look at the damage. But this is great, right? It puts Reynold in a very advantageous position. Also getting that drive gauge back a little bit, set up double departure.
Yeah, and just wait. Ooh, I like the tech. Good timing there. Oh, that was negative on hit. Not punishable and ready for the drive impact. Game 1. Very clean there from Reynold. And that last round was like textbook. He did literally everything right. When he had the departure set up and just like hit the jab, let it hit, and then got the combo after it, you know, his positioning and awareness was really good.
Yeah. It was more so up to YJK to get out of the situation instead of trying to pursue offense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a punish counter. At least gets to press a button afterwards. And speaking of, gets a big whiff punish off of a medium kick.
Interesting. Has not opted to take any can setups either. Has just so far been like, yeah, that's fine. Ooh, big bait. Get some drive gauge on that because of the punish counter.
Do it again!
Yeah. About to be burnout for Reynold here.
I don't know about all that. That was raw ghost.
Yeah. Wake up button again. YJK fishing, trying to get some offense here. Plus frames on that. Reynold challenges anyway.
With a stand jab, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get some space out of that. Man, that could have been so much worse for Reynold, but YJK didn't see it coming. The departure is there. You have to expect a side switch at some point.
Oh, big jump. It doesn't link off of it. Doesn't finish the target combo or anything. Oh, no.
Dancing with the cane is Reynold. And the departure does get the hit. Level 2's got to be set up. No, level 1 to kill. Yes, sir. I didn't think it was going to be enough damage.
Oh, that was brutal. That was a huge chunk of damage. And YJK was doing really, really well of holding that space in that corner. That one time Reynolds slips out, and that's all it is. What a whiff punish, though, at the start.
Beautiful. Music to my ears when I see that and hear the damage.
Nice. That crouching heavy punch from Reynolds has been very, very well placed, even on the elbow drop so far, which is not always easy to do. This is big. No level 3 from Reynolds because he spent the level 1 last round, but it's the setup here. I like the close portal, too. Yeah, just threatening up close, keeping yourself safe. Wow.
I don't know if that does anything for you. It does not. It's way too far out, and it hits the second part of the spin, so it doesn't really give you any big advantages. That's a lot of cane, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's too much cane, if you ask me. That's Reynold 2-0 over YJK.
Yeah, he looked sort of unbothered, right? Like moisturized in his lane. Like nothing really went wrong for him. He had a lot of control in that. YJK, it's on him to force, right? Like obviously you're the one that has to go in and make JP sweat. And it really felt like Reynold was really comfortable in every scenario. Like YJK gets any kind of offense going and Reynolds just like, yeah, this is fine. I'm not really worried about this too much. Defensively, he also did really well at just like not getting overwhelmed or swarmed. So that was really clean. I think he did like basically everything right,
I think him forcing YJK to kind of clean up his meaties was a pretty big deal. But on top of that, also challenging every single time with the button had to be pretty flustering for YJK.
Yeah, I mean, Reynold will get backdoor into the corner and just wake up button, like you said. He's like, whatever.
Stand jab, crouch jab, the whole 9. Yeah, he's been pressing every single light button that he could after at least, like, what? He'll test it on wake up. He gets meated, so what? He got thrown, like, what, 6 times in a row, and he was big chilling. All right, realistically, it was like 3. But he was still able to, like, test the water. He's like, I'm going to throw anyway. I'm not going to do OD amnesia just yet. But also, speaking of defense, he wasn't deterred when he did the first OD amnesia. He's like, all right, well, this gets blown up. He did it immediately after, and the next turn, I'm like, this guy he's just ready for it.
That's sicko behavior for sure.
He does not care. He does not care about, I'm pretty sure, like, if you were to watch him stream, he's laughing the entire time. And he's done it before. He just laughs at people. He's having a great time when he plays, as he should.
Yeah, Reynold is one of those for sure. A lot of, like, everybody knows somebody who plays fighting games not to, like, win, but to, like, make you feel bad.
That's him. Yeah, that's exactly him on any game that he plays.
He just also happens to win, which is like a bonus for him on top of that.
If you ever play a team game with him, he will also make you feel that way. He's
yeah. He's definitely that way. I mean, that's how Reynold is. That's how he games. He has
fun. And I respect it. I do respect it. So that's Reynold 2-0 over YJK. I believe after that, in the bracket, we just saw Chris CCH going up against Samurai. Should be coming up next.
A little Shoto battle. That's probably what we're going to have here. So it should be Ken and Luke. Samurai, I feel like what an adorable picture. Yeah.
That was the selfie he took for LPN's wedding.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the wedding picture, right? I also saw another picture from that where he looked considerably less sober. But that's a good picture. I like that. Yeah. It's a wedding. I mean, like it's supposed to be a good time. But yeah, I mean, obviously.
He was grooving, by the way. All the videos, he was grooving. I saw it.
Having a great time. Yeah, which is cool. I mean, it's cool to see both of them are in this top 16. He was literally at LPN's wedding, which is cool. Congrats, by the way. 2 of them are going to be battling here. Chris is obviously one of the young upstarts on the West Coast who's been doing very well. I'm sure if you've been watching Street Fighter V at all, you've seen it. And in this game has been very successful, too. So, Ken versus Luke, 2 very common characters. Shoto battle. Samurai, I think, he's like the old faithful. Like, he's really solid, really well-rounded Shoto player for years and years and years and years, right? I mean, he is an extremely, I think, proficient player at playing like kind of the slow and steady, but then turning it on when he has to.
Oh, yeah. He's got a really big bulldog energy.
Yes,
actually.
yeah.
When he starts to feel it, he will push you to the corner without you even realizing it as
Right.
well. I think he's such a great mind in Street Fighter to kind of utilize every normal that he has to kind of create space for himself and also intimidate you.
And he takes the game very serious. Like, I'll never forget Denka Diaz telling me I lost to Samurai in an online tournament. And Samurai told me while we were playing our match online, I could tell your breathing was off.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, he told him that. He's like, your breathing was off. And he's like, dude, we're playing in an online tournament. Like, I'm not even near you. He's like, I could tell. Your gameplay, I could tell by the way you move.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Let's take a look at our player quotes. Our first one for the day coming in from Chris CCH. Chris says, Samurai told me that JP seems like my kind of character. I remember this interaction. In my 8 years of competing, I have never felt so insulted. He will pay for this. So I have to wonder, does that mean he's pulling out the JP for this matchup specifically?
That's a great question. You know, the thing about Chris CCH is that he hates JP.
He despises.
He hates JP, but my theory, and I think most people will agree, you know, you hate what you are. And so I have watched him.
He looked right at me when he said it.
Yes, I watched him play JP, and I think Samurai's assessment is correct. I like him on the JP. I'm a big fan. So I think he'll probably play Ken, but I do think JP is a great character for him. He is somebody who's like willing to put in the time and effort to lab. Like he kind of starts slow, right, as a player. You know, you saw in the first couple of weeks, a lot of other players had better results, but he has slowly built up. And, you know, the game hasn't even been out that long, but he obviously already looks like one of the best players in the country, and, like, it's getting better and better. So he's someone who, like, really sits down and puts his nose to the grindstone and gets a lot better over time, and you can see that in his gameplay. I mean, his JP is, like, 2 weeks old, and he beat Knuckle doing a tournament with it the other week. So.
And I'm also glad he puts his pride aside, right? He's willing to play the characters that are going to find him success personally, even if it eats at his soul. We've seen the JP, Chris CCH. You can't deny it, but we do applaud you for it. I mean, he's got to do what it takes to win, but at the same time, it's like I'm pretty sure with his skill set, he could take whatever character he so pleases to go all the way with.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think if you wanted to play any character, you'd do well. And JP really rewards someone who's willing to sit there and, like, grind out the little things. And I think he's one of those, right? He's down to, like, be like, all right, cool, let me just sit down and, like, learn all of these interactions, setups, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, you can see it in his gameplay. So, Ken. Yeah, Ken is kind of what I expected here.
Frame 1 already had the emote up.
The smile.
Yeah. I think that's the up emote.
Up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of up. Most characters up is like a smile, and I vibe with that. I throw out the smile.
The only time I change up is E Honda, where he has like the
stone face.
The stone face on. That's the only time I don't press it.
I also like DJ Down, where he's like, say what?
The glasses.
Yeah, I like
that one. The glasses tilt. It's so sick. Oh man, was that a down tilt from Ken? It's crazy.
The down tilt, yeah. And he got the little conversion afterwards. I like that crouching only combo. Sandblast.
Pocket sound does he actually have? Did he bring it all the way with him to Brazil?
He did. He brings it everywhere. He stores it in his forearms.
It's got to be like in a duffel bag first, then he like packs it in just in case. It's cheating, man.
That's his carry-on.
Yeah, it's just it's like, what do you got in there? A ton of bricks? No, a ton of sand.
Dude, I want to see Alex do that now in person. Just a duffel bag full of sand.
Yeah. Alex Lee,
Yeah. Pick up early. And Chris has looked really solid here on the ground. He hasn't made a lot of like unforced errors so far, just walking down Samurai. Found a couple of good buffers. I like the idea. Drive rush back heavy punch is kind of evasive. It's good to catch people who are trying to check your drive rush.
And it's surprisingly very, very far.
Yeah.
Man, you saw the efforts of possibly trying to whiff punish, but it was a parry instead from the side of Samurai, extending the combo into the Shoryuken.
Yeah,
nice
I like Tatsu uppercut combo there too, right? Yeah. You don't have to try Jinrai or anything fancy.
Ooh, the big whip punish could have been bigger from Samurai.
That could have been everything. Drive rush off of that is huge. If you get punish counter on Luke's crouching medium or crouching medium kick or counter hit, you can drive rush back heavy kick, right? So you get the juicy damage off of it, which is really nice. Man, this drive gauge for Samurai is getting beat up here because of these heavy kicks. Nice parry. So perfect.
Ah, you missed the timing.
That's the problem with Luke. I think in tournament you see every Luke player miss that. I mean, even Mena on the EVO stage missing those perfect knuckles, right? That kind of stuff happens. Yeah, I mean, even the best Luke players miss them.
That's your big combo starter. That's the big party invite. Oh, we got the... Oh, no!
Oh, we got him. That was... Oh, we get level 3 back.
Oh, you thought?
Yeah. Right through. Very nice. So Chris spending all his gauge and Samurai and Burnout with no meter means, yeah, he's going to get Jin Ride to the corner and then drive impacted, basically. This is...
Overhead, low overhead so far. Oh, what a back throw. That was sick.
His breathing was perfect. You could just see it. Yeah, he knew it. Now no Burnout anymore. Samurai in a great spot. And if you're Chris, that has to feel bad.
You got to breathe, man.
the way the music went whoop, 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 right when he hit the wall, too.
Yeah.
Back throw. Big. Chris has position again here. Waiting. I think he wants to wait for this drive gauge to come back. Yeah, so he doesn't get burnt out on that. Very smart.
That was so smart, too. And it's kind of tough, man. If you have a heat map in this game to kind of let you know where drive impacts happen, that's literally the area, both corners, where it happens the most. So you kind of have to look out for that. I do like him just kind of waiting it out for the drive gauge just in case.
He just sat there and waited until he had 3 and then some drive gauge so that drive rushing wouldn't burn him out.
Right.
It was smart. It was a good choice from Chris.
Oh.
So we tried it. You can punish Luke's fireball at some ranges like that, so I like the perfect parry drive rush attempt. Again, yeah.
Didn't even know how to mess with the mix-up afterwards. But at the cost of a pretty significant amount for the gauge.
Yeah, I mean, the whole neutral now is Samurai running because his drive gauge is so low, and then he puts himself in burnout. He was fine with it there. He said, fine, I'd rather put myself in burnout than give you the opportunity to do so.
Well, you have something to kind of skip across the screen like Dragon Lash. It could be a problem. But it's fine for Samurai. He does have a significant life lead. He just has to guess a bunch of times over against the Jinrai.
Can't wait for throw that time. Dragon
No
Lash.
way.
Oh, parry, yeah. Big punish here.
Oh, that is a hefty punish. Damn. Throw.
Yeah,
He's not going to do
sure.
it again.
Oh, he does.
Okay,
Another
a
throw
third?
kill. And Samurai text this time. Oh, I like it. Yeah, that was a really weird spot for Samurai to stick out a button. You know what I mean? Like, right after doing that fireball, he kind of turtled up a bit, and parry was a good idea, but Chris ready for it.
Oh, too far for the extension. Crouching jump counter hit.
Oh,
I
that's
love
big.
that move. That hitbox is phenomenal.
Yeah, and that's like the first jump we've seen Chris represent, really. Surprise in like this, second game, potential last round scenario. Chris with lots of gauge, too.
And we haven't seen any big side switches yet, right? Other than like the first game, first round. Samurai hasn't taken any big risks in jumping himself.
Yeah, he's played it really slow, and maybe to his detriment here in that it seems like he's struggling to make anything kind of happen, right? He's not getting started at all. And when he did get started, he dropped his combo, which is, pretty rough.
2-3 times over. Man, the drive rush back heavy punches are not working out for him. Chris CCH has either blocked all of them. Oh, no. Too predictable on the fireball. Yeah, and I love the little wave. Oh, it could have been a level 3.
Yeah. Oh, right here for sure. Easy peasy pickup. And that's a 2-0, just like that for Chris CCH off the back of, I think some unfortunate drops from Samurai, especially in that first game there. Not having the perfect knuckles when you need them is really brutal. It makes your damage and corner carry and positioning just so much worse.
Yeah. And I know this is very kind of like unorthodox for Samurai to kind of go out of the ordinary and kind of irrational, but I would have loved him representing the jump option, the jump-in option, considering how great Luke's jump-in fierce is. I know you're going up against like a Shoto character that has fantastic anti-airs,
right?
But I feel like in sharper angles, you might be able to kind of maybe get yourself out of the corner easier at the risk of eating a crosscut DP for a little bit of a fee. I think it's great to kind of reset the situation instead of being stuck in the corner. I just think it wasn't too beneficial for Samurai to kind of play the ground game the entire time.
Right, and something to consider too is he tried a lot of drive rush back heavy punch, and Chris didn't check ever. So if you see that, you just drive rush jab, right, or drive rush medium punch and take a little bit more plus frames. It's a little slower or riskier option, I should say, right? But it's extremely strong. It's one of the best things that Luke has. So, maybe that was worth considering. And this combo was cool. I like this drive rush heavy.
God, it's so much damage just off of that, too.
Chonky starter.
Oh.
He ends with the light DP to get the better OP.
That was great reactions against the Sandblast as well. And then this opportunity right here for Chris CCH was everything, right? 3 stand jabs.
Bam, bam, bam. He really knocks on the door. He pulls up like that and just jab, 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 light kick. And it's really difficult to deal with Ken in that position. He can just string you up with jabs and then walk back heavy punch or, keep walking up, checking you with jabs. So if you don't hit anything fast, you get stuffed. So that'll set up our first top 8 match, Reynold versus Chris CCH. Not surprising, I think, right? 2 of the best players in this region. And to see them in winner side top 8 is, I think, pretty expected.
Very excited to see it. It is going to be JP versus Ken, but in the hands of these 2 players, it's going to be a different type of speed, I would think. So that's going to be up tomorrow. Kizzy K versus JB is coming up next.
Ooh, that's a cool one, too. I mean, interesting matchup, right? The Hamburglar
there he
himself.
is. I knew it. I knew it was him all along.
The Hamburglar in the flesh. So that's JB. Both of these, you're probably familiar if you watch much Street Fighter, but both of them stream as well. So it's going to be DJ up against Rashid or maybe Jamie. I don't know which one JB is going to be playing. I feel like he's been playing a little bit.
He's been doing both,
yeah.
He would play like his first couple of hours on stream with Rashid, then kind of switch over to Jamie for like
Right.
certain tournaments and whatnot. But it's been a good variety of both. I think he's entered a lot of tournaments with both characters already.
Yeah, I've seen him play both for sure. His Rashid is very solid. Obviously, he played that character in the last version, and then his Jamie I think has been one of the standouts with the character for this version of the game. Right, I think a lot of people have seen his Jamie. It's very solid, and then Kizzy, of course, on the DJ. That's the character he plays. Kind of what you expect.
Yeah, I've had a first-hand experience with Kizzy K's DJ, and that guy is just mad solid. Then he starts throwing just cool mix-ups, and I'm like, you know, you got it, bro. I'm all right. I'm just gonna hang out.
Yeah,
you can just do whatever you want. But I think in the hands of Kizzy K, right? He does such a fantastic job of conditioning his opponents and then being able to throw in the mix. I think it's because of his background in other fighters.
Right. Yeah, he has, anime game background. A lot of the time, players with that background like the mix, right? They want to do the silly stuff. But Kizzy in both that game and Street Fighter, I think, is solid, right? He's like somebody who likes the slow and steady stuff more than he likes just the ham stuff. So this kind of game, I think, suits him pretty well. And then with DJ, you could just, turn green at any point and just go weep, and then you're in. So like that's pretty nice too, right? You just fly across screen, hit jab. Do a little drive rush pressure. Pretty good, no matter how you spin it, honestly. So I like the character for him. I think it has like the nice mix of like really solid options, like the whip punishes with heavy kick and other stuff are good. And then also just like the turn it on offense that I think is really powerful, to have at your command.
Now, we both had plenty of DJ experience. You both brought him up to master. Now, in this particular matchup, I haven't personally been able to face off against that many Rashids in a like big serious setting or on ranked. I've played like full on like first to 10 with a handful of people. How do you feel this matchup goes between DJ and Rashid?
I think that it's interesting because I've played Rashid also, and I played JB a bunch of times. Rashid is really solid. And the thing about Rashid is, like, I think his anti-fireball stuff is not as good as the other games, right? Like, so you think about 5, obviously, that's, I think, a hallmark of him. He has really good anti-fireball stuff. His fireball feels really good if the character allows you to set up with it, right? But maybe not as strong against characters that can kind of just, like, slap out their own projectiles against you. So, I'm kind of interested to see that in this one. I think DJ... when you play DJ, if you want some advice for DJ players out there, do not do the heavy fireball. Okay? Don't do the heavy fireball. The heavy fireball is a trap. You only want to do it when you're like sure, like you're in pressure or really up close, or you're like all the way full screen.
You would do it as a combo ender sometimes to kind of chip away at the drive gauge, even throwing in the OD to leave yourself plus. But if you're doing it as a spacing tool, you are going to get smoked.
Trust me, don't do it. But the medium fireball is like really good. And I think using a lot of medium fireball and drive rush to threaten Rashid and not let him establish is really important, because I think when he establishes like the whirlwind on screen to do whatever action he wants, that's when it gets scary. But until that, then he kind of has to be the initiator against DJ. And I think DJ is, he's more favorable in that kind of position than when Rashid gets the tornado out, and then you jump back because you want to be eagle spike, and then he air to airs you, and then he gets crouching medium, and he's plus now, and you're like, oh god. So
you really notice like the difference in damage output with Rashid as soon as that whirlwind is installed, right? Not necessarily installed, but just out on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And like he has a lot of good stuff in the corner. He can safe jump and get pressure, and then he can do cyclone, and then
Arabian cyclone is so good in the corner as well. I think JB does a phenomenal job of getting those mix-ups into. And to be fair, Rashid is so fast. When he does Arabian cyclone and either goes for like the grounded dash or even like the air, the air mix. The air mix-up one is the gnarliest. It really is. And I don't use that word often. I am a Californian, but I don't use that word often. I will say this is, man, you have so many different options to tick throw, to do an overhead, and also keep them in block strings.
Yeah, and if you do the heavy cyclone into roll, it's +1, right? So you can also just like see if they're awake. Like, are you going to hit a button on this or not? And if they start to hit a button, you can go for the medium version and try to frame trap them, or do other stuff that you want to do. You can just do like heavy punch into nothing, and then just like let them reversal jab and then hit heavy punch again, or crouching medium kick or whatever, right? So you have ways to like set up spacing traps or find counter hits and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, Rashid he's a really interesting character, and I think he's like not that common, right? Because in the last game he was cheap for like forever. He was so strong.
But that's the thing. In the first 3 seasons of it, he was still under the radar.
Yeah. I think for a while, people didn't really know. Oh, he tried to do the run kick follow up there. I like that option. See, this is what I mean. No check there, which means JB gets in. He gets plus frame on the heavy Arabian cyclone.
Oh, that's so dangerous. After the back throw, if you could react to the heavy fireball, which you could get a free jump in.
Yeah, you got to be very careful about that.
You're stuck in recovery.
Medium mixer. Yeah. Charge fireball. And again, no check from Kizzy, which means plus frames for JB. Oh, I like it. Sets it up early. Yeah. Heavy kick into the mixer. Yep. And then frame kill.
Oh, he wasn't ready for it. He autopiloted a little bit.
Yeah, which sets up a good spot for Kizzy here. He's about to have 3 drive gauge, so he can drive rush too. JB's got a guess.
That's a +3 option too, by the way. if you're going for like a meaty option, if you're going for a throw. Oh, Eagle Spike set up. Yeah, 3. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the 3 crouch strongs for the meaty, but he gets the SAR out.
Because he tried to parry right there. One thing is, I don't know how much 5 he played, but if you played a lot of 5, when you see that Rashid dash, you back throw it on reaction, right? So like a lot of people who play that game are really familiar with it. Oh, jabbing the wrong way. Baby.
OD mixer, get off of it. You're going to set up, then you're going to drive rush forward. I think he was trying to bait out a reversal with a drive rush forward and crouching jab. Just kind of halts his momentum. Doing it again!
Oh, I like that sway option. Pretty solid. Yeah, he gets the knockdown on this. Overhead. Oh, good block from Kizzy, too.
Beautiful. He knows the mix. What's the safe jump?
Fireball. Just no button before either. Very odd. Oh, man. Kizzy's drive gauge is a little spooky here.
Oh, even more so. Just to hold that. Yeah, JB, he knows it as well. But he doesn't want to overextend.
Yeah, even though the drive gauge is a little weak. Oh.
Ooh, that was unfortunate.
Tried it. Just canceled into it. That's going to take his drive gauge down. Yep. Burnout. Super plus on this.
Oh, boy. The rhythm allegations. Does he have it? He passes with flying colors.
Easy peasy. It is a lot of meter, though, for a Kizzy to spend, right? So level 2 gone. And I was a level 2 for JB also. He's going to build another one this round, most likely, though.
Not too bad of an exchange. Punish counter, that's everything into the crouching medium punch. Not only is the damage there, +2 scenario, yeah, he has to hold and block. Oh, the punish counter! I love seeing that punish counter. It's so juicy.
Yeah, it's really nice for Rashid. That heavy kick is a solid button. Same with his heavy punch and his crouching heavy punch, too. Oh,
big jump in. Oh, that was medium.
Yeah, didn't quite make it in time. I like it. No checks from Kizzy. And he's got him again. This is big. So it gets all the meter off the table at least.
Side switch, you already know. I don't know what he says, but it sounds cool.
It's a party.
Something about parties, yeah.
Party. And here. Now Kizzy has nothing. This should be checkmate if he wants to string into the drive impact. Hasn't gone for it yet. I imagine we'll see it here. Yep.
Have to, yeah.
No meter, so there's nothing you can do. And his stun damage is humongous here. He actually, I think, is close to killing.
You can do it again.
Level 1. It's dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, Rashid's stun damage is, like, some of the highest in the game, right? Because he has the fully charged whirlwind shot to start, and, like, yeah, he just deletes your life.
He gets the whirlwind going, so you get the OD mixer, the enhanced kick afterwards, the juggle, everything, the whole 9, right?
Yeah, the sky high, it really gives you a lot of damage.
It's so good. It's so cool to look at. That's a huge conversion.
Spike all the way to the corner.
I'm glad they kept his run. What an interruption.
That's big, yeah. You know, JB's been getting away with that a lot. He's just done a lot to say, like, hey, what you gonna do about this? Oh, dead. Yeah, just cool for the pickup.
Anytime I see somebody confirm off of the drive rush forward, standing jab into back heavy kick, it's sweet chin music to me.
Yeah, it does a ton of damage. But the primary mix-up that JB's been using is just, like, the heavy version of Cyclone, because it gives you plus frames, but you can check it, right? So that's one of those things that Kizzy's gonna start to do more. And we've seen it already in this round. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan.
Oh, the overhead, though, and he gets connected to this drive rush.
Yeah, he gets the juggle here. Takes the heavy mixer.
Crouching medium punch. No, he baited. Oh, he actually found success in it this time. The standing heavy punch with everything. OD, get off me. Jackknife maximum. Drive rush forward. What's the play now for JB? Forward throw. Set up Isar.
Yeah, just to try to close out this round. Dashes up, does nothing, baits the throw!
Oh, nasty!
That was clean. Very well played. It cost JB a couple of meters, but I think, you know, spending it to secure the round, probably worth it.
If I fall out of this chair, will you catch me, man?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
I got you.
Whew.
Didn't get the perfect parry on the jab. That time he does.
Ah, no side switch, but it's fine.
Yeah, he still gets a lot of corner carry off this.
And it's the setup, right? Yeah, it could be like, he could get meaty overhead off of that as well.
Yeah, and then he gets the meaty right there. Light eagle spike. Frame kills have been really good for JB so far.
So cool, man. He's got this character down pat. Yeah, the option select against the throw.
Overhead.
Should be more than enough. Actually, I don't even know.
Yeah, he gets the level 1 here. Nicely
No
done.
way. I was kind of doubtful. I didn't think it was going to be enough damage. That's 2 games straight for JB?
With the camera flying off. Wait. He just chases after. I love that windscreen. Yeah, very well played. I mean,
this picture kills me.
The Hamburglar. Not the burglar.
Not again.
Yeah.
The hamburgers are not safe.
Well played. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing for me is, you know, part of the fun thing about this is JB streams a lot, so I've seen a lot of his Rashid play so far, but I also just run into him a lot in ranked. It's one of those things. And so a lot of the stuff that he showed off here, I think, I've seen a lot because I just played against him a lot. But I assume a lot of people watching on the stream are like, what is this, right? Like, they probably haven't seen a Rashid to this level because the character just came out. And, it's only really the loyalists to the character who are switching over right away, who have played him in the other game and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. I mean, JB, obviously, I'm sure a lot of you know him from the last game or know him from this game or a stream or whatever. But if you're looking for someone who's really solid with this character, I definitely recommend checking out his stream. And coming back tomorrow, he's going to be in the top 8 winner side, playing against the winner of Snake Eyez and Nephew. So, congrats to him. Extremely well played. We'll see Kizzy in the losers bracket, but it's really just awesome to see some top-level Rashid, not that long after this character came out, right? I mean, it's pretty recent, so very cool.
Other than JB, the only one I've been really watching was like Jammers when I get the time to. He's been the only other person over in the across the pond, over in the EU.
Yeah. I've been watching Johnny Tack, John Takuchi. His Rashid has been really fun to watch too. These two, legacy Rashid players, obviously, right? So it's been cool to watch them, and they were at home game and looking really, really solid. So sets up our last match on the winner's side, which is going to be Snake Eyez versus Nephew. These two have played so many times. I've seen them play so many times in ranked sets, and it could go either way, right? It's one of those things. My favorite thing though is like watching them play, and Nephew wins, and Snake Eyez just goes, "It can't just be Fireball and a Drive Rush, right?" Like, he's just like, I can't.
He's like, what he says, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it can't just be Fireball and a Drive Rush, right? Like, he's just looking at Jury Fireball Drive Rush. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, he was like trying to find all these answers to it, and he's like, no way. He was just like going through it. I was like, yeah, I feel like everybody's like that when they fight a really strong Jury that just does that over and over. You're like,
that's tough. I mean, like, I know it's like what phase 1 of how the character's going to be played out. It's like, yeah, I still don't really have an answer to it. You have to force yourself to lab it.
That's
the
the
only way you'll
problem.
get better.
Even at a high level, it's still extremely good. Like, it's one of those things that's good at any level, and that it's still good at the highest level of play. So it's been fun to watch.
But I am glad to see Snake Eyez actually show up to this particular event, being able to register. And speaking of registration, we do have that open for all of the CPTs all around the globe. Currently available, but the one that you're looking forward to right now is South America West. That one is going to be closing very, very soon. So if you are eligible in South America West, your closing time is after this weekend is over. Monday, August 28th at 9 a.m. Pacific Domestic Time, whatever time zone that is for you guys as well. I don't know how time works, but I will say this. You got to make sure that you register and also be on time for it.
Yeah, check in on time. Make sure you're there for the tournament, of course. We got to make sure that you play in it and you're there, and this is your chance to qualify for your region. That it's not World Warrior, obviously, right? So make sure you get in there, sign up, get some gaming on, and don't miss it. Make sure you check all the times and stuff. Quadruple check. This is your chance to the million, right? So, got to make sure you're timely and sign up now. And if you're like, oh, my region, has it happened yet? You can check the website, of course. Yeah, we see that there's the offline qualifiers coming up. Obviously, we had Evolution back in Vegas. These are the other two that are happening. Singapore over in October 20, and then France. November 3rd is their start time. You can register for those too. So if you want to head out to the 2 other offline premieres that are going to happen for this year, make sure you sign up, check those out. Keep an eye out for more details and information about everything that's going to be happening with those once they release. I'm sure you'll hear of it either on here or social media or wherever else. So is it the 2 offline qualifiers left? And this is the upcoming schedule. This is, CPT, North America and Canada West. Then we have South America, that we mentioned, is next week. Asia East, and then Central America East. So get those registrations in. I mean, listen, you can register whenever. Why not do it now? Like, those people
who
are
ahead
like,
of the game. Yeah, mark your calendar as well. Yeah, if you want to watch it or enter into it, you might as well mark that calendar.
Register right now because, like, listen, I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, oh, I'll just register tomorrow or the next day or whenever, and suddenly
you're gonna forget, or something dire is gonna happen. Like you're gonna have to be too busy in your day and completely forget about it.
Yes, please just register. Like, don't even risk it. Don't do anything fancy. Just register.
It's your one shot to get into Capcom Cup 10.
Yeah. Make sure you get the job done. Sign up. Get in there. That's going to be very important. So,
other than World Warrior, obviously. But
yes, yeah, World Warrior or the offline events, but those are the big ones. So just keep an eye out. Make sure that you're ready. And sign up for all that stuff. Of course. So thanks for joining us. Hopefully everybody's been vibing, hanging out, enjoying all the matches so far. Those are our first 3 matches of the top 16. We got our winners qualifiers for all of them except Snake Eyez versus Nephew, which is very cool.
Really excited to see it overall because, again, you talked about how often they've played against each other, and I'm really excited because I rarely get to see it. What I do see more often than not is Chipotle around the block in Burbank, too. We've seen a ton of those been popping up everywhere. I mean, it makes sense in SoCal.
I've got great news. Chipotle partnered with us this year for the CPT. Did you know that, Jeremy?
I did.
Your
actually.
order just got extra, Jeremy. I don't know if you've seen the commercials. I've seen it myself. Your order just got extra. And if you guys are interested in helping out support Chipotle, he's been supporting CPT all year long. You can, of course, sign up for their rewards program now and get yourself some Chipotle. So they got all kinds of deals on there. You buy a certain amount of Chipotle, you get some extra stuff. You want that extra guac, you want whatever you want. So, of course, thanks to Chipotle for supporting the Capcom Pro Tour, supporting me, your boy. Thanks, Chipotle. Love you guys. Big fan. And your order can get extra. I love that line. That's my favorite thing. I was in my house. This is true. I was in my house in the middle of the night going, your order just got it. No,
I kind of heard it. Yeah. I wasn't too sure. Like, what the heck is going on? Like,
I'm sitting in my house. Your order just got extra. So thanks to Chipotle for supporting CPT. It's very sweet of them to do so. I appreciate it. And seeing the crowd cheer for Chipotle at Evo.
Every single time. And people would ask me, they was like, yeah, what was that about? I'm like, do you not love Chipotle? I mean, it makes sense.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Just them cutting to the Chipotle ad. And everybody's like, yeah. Like, it's just
so
the most,
good.
Life is... Life's funny that way sometimes.
It really is. But hey, speaking of which, make sure you get some snacks, some hydration. Get ready for this next matchup between Snake Eyez and Nephew right after this break.
At Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients in real kitchens. When you order Chipotle, real food starts with you. Whether it's in restaurant, pickup, or delivery. However you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle.
Which one of these was the herbal medicine again? Oh yeah, this one. Probably. Now, here comes the airplane. Say, ah. No! Some poisons can kill people in the thousands with that amount. Like botulinum toxin, it inhibits acetylcholine release, causing loss of muscle tone, lethargy, dizziness, visual impairment. Heavy eyelids, intense thirst, loss of speech, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach distension, breathing difficulty, then respiratory failure.
I am standing next to greatness. None other than Chris Tatarian, or as most people know him, Chris T. It's good to be with you, my boy.
Always my brother.
Yes, one of my homies, one of my best friends in the scene and everything, of course. You've been cooking since Street Fighter 4. How old were you when you even started?
I was 14 years old.
You was 14.
Yeah, 14. I feel like the beauty in this journey is each individual experience with your pursuit in becoming a professional Street Fighter player, or just choosing to go down this route. You know, you experience things that are unique to you, but some people can relate to them as well. You know, some of the hardships that...
by it.
Exactly. So I try to talk about a lot of the things that I've gone through on my stream, and whenever I meet some people, so they get an idea of what this journey is really like.
At the start of all this stuff, bro, for any of us, like the start of it, we just trying to run games. You just love it. There is no fame involved. There is no dollar involved. There's no fans involved.
It's love.
Yes, and you play for 1 million hours a day, and then eventually, for some people like yourself, it turned into something where you have fans around the world. You walking around, people, oh, are you Chris T? They want pictures with you and all that stuff. They want you to sign autographs. Yeah. What is that like for you?
You have to be able to recognize your greatness, but also be humble about it and show others that you're just like them and that they can achieve that same level of greatness as you. So I'm humbled and I'm honored anytime somebody asks for a picture of me or an autograph of me, because it makes me think all of my hard work paid off.
Yeah.
You know?
So now, Street Fighter 6, it's a new era, bro. You said you started when you was 14.
Yeah.
There wasn't no bag on it, not just for you, just for anybody really. Sponsored players and all that stuff really wasn't a thing, and let alone $2 million prize pool, $1 million to first place.
Yeah.
But so yeah, man, what was your reaction when you saw that $2 million?
I think I reacted the same way that everybody else did, which was a feeling of finally, something that we can actually earn from spending the amount of time that we do. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, like you said, we just did this for the love of the game because we want to push ourselves, right? But now that there's some change on it, I can actually stream and make money from this game now. Now I feel like it's providing people with a lot of opportunity to gain some stability. So this was like a love letter, how many people have been saying to their Street Fighter fans, and I'm grateful as a Street Fighter player, bro. They made my guy Ken godlike. This is the most fun that I've had with Ken. I'm just happy, man. Everybody's happy. It's like everybody's back.
Yes.
Everybody's playing Street Fighter again. Shout out to Capcom, man. I'm happy.
And not only shout out to Capcom, shout out to men like Chris T. It's always a pleasure talking to you, bro.
Thank you, my brother.
I can't wait to see what you do with the CPT season in general. I know you're about to cook up. This has been Big Hollywood with Chris T, and we got more CPT action coming at you right now.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you've been enjoying all our action so far. Nice to hear from Chris T. Even if we couldn't get him this weekend, I'm sure we'll see him the World Warrior or maybe one of those offline events coming up soon. Hopefully you've been enjoying everything. This is the CPT qualifier for North America and Canada West, although I don't believe we have any Canadians left in our
I don't believe so,
top
no.
16.
Ceroblast was entered. I think, unfortunately, missed the timing as well.
Not like this. Everybody's hitting the gym. I respect it. New year, new me, right? Everybody's hitting the gym. You were one of the ones that stayed after January. January.
Yes.
Like, the way I think about it
that's
is like
the big test right there. Is if you get past January and February, you are definitely about self-improvement. I get it.
What it's like if you're a fighting game fan and you've never been to the gym is like, how you watch Evo and you're like, I'm going to my local next week. I'm playing the game. It's like that, but you keep going.
That's bars,
okay? Yeah,
actually.
It's the same thing. It's like you're just like, you watch Evo, you saw like Mena versus Angry Bird, you're like, I'm going to my local this week. I'm doing it. I'm finally making the trip. And then, you just show up and you're like, what up, everybody? And it's not Evo Grand Finals. But it's still pretty cool. You should go to your locals. Check them out. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah. But it's been great so far.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've seen, six really, really consistent players overall in like the weekly events that have been happening. And we're about to get 2 more, I believe, with one big asterisk on one of them. And I will say, it is indeed Snake Eyez. Snake Eyez has been doing a phenomenal job of streaming his entire journey with Zangief. But I am kind of curious, man, because you talked about these 2 particular warriors being able to fight a bunch over, but what, unranked?
I've seen them unranked a lot. Yeah, obviously, if you're watching tournaments, you've seen Nephew, right? Like he's been offline events like CEO and Evo and stuff, but seeing him in online tournaments as well. Snake Eyez, on the other hand, he doesn't really enter tournaments that much, right? Like, he's someone who's a tournament veteran. He's been playing in tournaments for a long time.
Correct.
But he like almost never enters stuff, right? Which I honestly am really sad about because I love watching him compete in tournaments. So,
right.
you
the
know.
last time I've seen him play at a competitive level, or at least in a tournament, was at a Twitch Rivals event that had happened literally the beginning of Street Fighter 6. But if you want to take a look at his record so far in this tournament, he took down content creator Justin Wong 2-0, and then Mike X 2-1 to bring himself up until this point. Nephew, on the other hand, also had a pretty turbulent ride over. Had to face down one of the best Blancas we could ask for through Wolfgang. Then had to face off against Filipino Man, which was a scrapping 2-1.
Yeah, and then Filipino Man obviously made it in a loser side over Wolfgang, right? So really, really strong Blanca player. Love watching Wolfgang play. Unfortunate out of the tournament, but definitely something to check out if you're interested in that character. So Nephew, you know, he had some tough opponents on the way here, makes it in, and these two play all the time. And the nice thing, too, is that we get to hear from both of them. We get to hear what they have to say. So first off, Nephew says, "Zangief is scary." That's it. It's the whole thing. It's just the whole.
I'm so sorry.
That's it. That's his whole line. I agree.
I got me.
I'm right there with him.
Sorry for blowing out your eardrums. That was my bad. I didn't expect it to. I should have been prepared.
I agree with him. He's spitting. He's so right. I never,
true.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Not in his voice either. Let's take a look at what Snake Eyes had to say in response.
I hope it's the same thing.
They're getting scooped. That's fair. Men of little words, but also very effective ones.
I love this selfie too. Like this selfie angle with they're getting scooped. It's like, it really is like a dating app selfie. He's just like, "What's up?" Puts his name, age, like, "What are your hobbies?" Scooping people. Like, it's just, I like this. This angle is really cracking.
That could have been like an ice cream date setup, right?
Yeah, I could totally see that. You want to?
I think that's a good name for an ice cream spot. Actually, getting scooped.
Getting scooped. I love that. That sounds so good. I
There
bet
you
you they
go.
have like a coffee, chocolate, peanut butter flavor that's delicious.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that sounds pretty bomb right now. Actually,
Yeah,
let's
I
not get
love
into
that.
that conversation because we can go on and on about ice cream.
I love ice cream. Yeah,
It's so
that'd be
good.
great.
It's so good. Anyways, man, there's so much to look forward to too. And you see some of the ads that have been going on, being able to register for all of your events right now. We kind of mentioned it before the break. We highly encourage you guys to do so because
Yes.
once it's gone, it's gone. This is your window of opportunity. You don't want to
Oh
miss it.
my
Here we
God.
go, and this is it. Nephew versus Snake Eyes.
I can never. I hold up one position. You know, I'm not like this wiggle the stick. Those people
No.
are
I
dangerous.
tap it. I
Yeah.
tap it to a rhythm, so it's like they're laughing.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh,
confirmed.
the big old lights, huh?
Yeah, light. His crouching light kick, very fast. Standing jab is really far as well. Oh,
That's
classic.
so sick. You expect most Zangiefs to go into the full swing of standing medium punch, but that was very tricky for Snake.
Yeah, medium punch combos on counter hit or punish counter as long as you're in range. But sweep after is a really common Zangief idea, I've learned.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because you're expecting the rest of the mediums, right?
Yeah. Or walk up SPD is also good there. Ooh, drive rush. That's the
That was
problem.
messed up.
It didn't combo though, actually. Nice confirm from Nephew, actually, to get that little light confirm into
Yeah.
super.
He
Not
didn't
enough.
have any lodging stored, though. Oh, no, the scoop. That's one. You get to drive right forward.
Oh, gotta guess.
You have to guess. Oh,
that'll
you're hella
do
dead.
it.
So that's really unfortunate, right? Nephew didn't really have a chance to stock up more than that, so that could have been huge first round for him had he gotten that extra damage out.
Yeah, and that reversal SPD from Snake Eyes is very scary, right? Like, if that didn't hit, that was the round. But he knows, like, oh, you're light after this, or you're minus after this light. I'm just going to do it.
That's
I
so
like that
dangerous.
idea.
Look at the spacing. He's slowly stalking down his foot. And that's going to be fine for Snake Eyes, being able to force the drive gauge out of somebody so that he gets to start his offense. It's a very slow but meticulous game.
Yeah, and Fireball drive rush. Been a problem, obviously, so far for Snake. He hasn't had, like, an answer two-way. He hasn't tried to drive it. Nice, that whip punish. No drive rush buffer off of it, though. Or level 2. You can do crouching medium punch to level 2 as well. Confirm. Yeah, spends
there
it.
it is. We just talked about it going into the full swing. We're going for the ender? Yeah.
He wants Oki.
He wants the Oki.
Ooh, and the chop.
That's a good stop!
Yeah, that's like one of the best buttons to hit if you see the drive rush. Oh, stuffs the heavy punch.
Trying to charge it up.
Oh, the backdash, and that's a punish. Not enough to kill. Nephew has gauge here, and yeah, it doesn't go for it. Ooh, Snake was churning. You saw it.
That's so scary. Every time you see the kind of stutter step from Zangief, you always expect the SPD.
Oh,
No
did
way.
he hit him? No, he went all in, and Snake Eyes, the patience
What
so
was that
far.
though? Like, was that like a Hail Mary type thing, or was he looking for something else? I genuinely couldn't tell from the way that was played out.
I think he went all in. I think it was a little scrambling. He said, why not? I'm just going to do it. Because Snake was just, I think, so solid so far. Try to parry on Wake Up, it looks like.
Yeah, that's how you could tell the amount of intimidation you're facing up against when it comes to Snake Eyes. To make Nephew throw out a level 3 like that is preposterous.
Yeah, Nephew is really, really solid most of the time, and then he gets a little scrambly when things aren't going the best. I like that.
That's huge.
And he's just forcing way more. I kind of like the idea. Nephew's approach has changed to be like, I don't want to just sit here in neutral anymore. I'm just going to force, and just take the mix-ups over and over and try to kill Zangief that way.
Up until the point where he's down engaged, right? He doesn't want to kind of spend the meter to do that, put himself into burnout because he knows how dangerous it could be. He'll do it off of a hit like that, though.
Yeah.
He was waiting for that opportunity. Very well spent and well played.
Yeah, and he did the crouching medium kick there because, you know, Snake Eyes just did standing heavy punch. That's weak to lows. So I like Nephew just walking up, jamming in the crouching medium kick. And to Snake Eyes' credit, he walked up and blocked it.
It's so scary.
Just a lot of patience in mid-range, not overcommitting to anything.
Yeah, and that's not going to be expensive whatsoever, right? 1 bar every single time. Snake Eyes does get the interruption, though. He challenged it with one of the light normals. All the way through.
Takes the Oki. Lariat Oki is not that great. It's just okay. Knockdown. And closer and closer to the corner. Just a lot of this game plan from Snake has been this, the walk down.
Tricky.
Gonna spend a lot of bar on this? No, just the one. Oh, he missed the... I think there's supposed to be a safe jump there or a setup. Oh,
Damn. He just tucked him in right before the fireball was about to hit. That was beautiful.
He said they're gonna get scooped.
How many scoops is that?
Man, you know, it's funny. He's been kind of like slow and steady on that. He hasn't let him rip too much, and I'm like, is it time now? Ooh, challenge. A little trade there, and he tried to chop
it again. No chop this time, though. It's going to be Nephew. Still trying to walk back, but it's been the same type of deal every single time. Right, drive, rush forward. Now it's going to be Snake Eyes throwing out some of that gauge.
Yeah, it's been a quite linear approach from Nephew, but like honestly, it's a really strong one. So double headbutt.
That's so tricky too because it's so plus.
Yeah, +4 on block. Very, very scary to deal with on regular headbutt. So you know, it takes the lariat. Not a lot of drive gauge for Snake Eyes, but this positioning though.
I thought that was going to be Scoop City again. Oh, out of the corner. That's fine. Oh, that counter hit. That was kind of tricky though because that was semi-early jump fierce. No.
Yeah, but it's still pretty tough to challenge even when it's like super high like that. It's going to be close to burnout or burnout for Snake. Yeah, burnout. And no way out. Oh, he has no meter to escape. Can Nephew build enough bar to get the kill here? It's enough. Oh,
jeez.
That is one of Zangief's weaknesses. Even if he had level 1 super, which he didn't there, right? But even if he did have it, he wouldn't have been able to get out of that.
What is his actual way out when it comes to supers?
Level 2.
It's only 2, right?
Level
no,
2 or 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah. But it's level 1, not invincible.
Oh, beautiful punish counter.
And this drive gauge for Snake Eyes is pretty brutal. And Nephew, again, just forcing. You see that, right? Like, I mean, the difference in reward and value from her driver is just so huge, right? So just forcing this over and over. That's
Look at all the plus frames. Jeez, he was attacking that drive gauge. He saw that weakness because of how early Snake Eyes had spent all his gauge. Oh, nice. What a neutral jump.
That was really good from Snake Eyes there. Knowing that the drive impact's coming because Zangief has no meter to get out.
Oh my God. Can we get those scoops to go, please?
Oh my, Snake Eyes. The reaction time. Checks on the dash. Whip for the SPD again.
I don't blame you. Now he's going to set up for Borscht Dynamite, right? Yeah. It has to be.
Oh, he's ready.
Slow down. Just trying to chop. Right at the neck.
Oh, man. Snake Eyes set point again here.
He's so dangerous, man. He walks up to you right in SPD range and throws out a normal. What do you do?
I know. That's the question. He's just constantly... His ground game is really impressive. His switches are really good. Oh,
I'm invincible,
no.
back throw.
That is huge. Gets pressure here, too. Yeah.
Jesus.
Interesting. He spent the level 2. This is going to get a lot of drive gauge down for Nephew. And the Oki, yeah, whip jab for timing.
No.
Wow, that was meaty.
That was the meatiest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, he waited so long, too. It's going to be burnout here, yeah. Uh-oh.
You're stuck, man.
What does Nephew do? Does he just Hail Mary it again? He's buffering there. Oh, he got him. Okay, so that's going to waste a lot of the timer on this burnout.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all, right? The damage is going to be enough to get the life lead. At least clear. Decent life lead, but also out of the corner. That's really important. Oh, but the jumping. Can't stop the lariat.
He's a lock. Yeah, and he tried to drive impact back. Snake Eyes has level 2 to try to get the kill here.
And I love that. 2. Yeah, the dash up 2 to make sure they're on their knees to be airborne. Borscht Dynamite. Yes, sir. 2-1. Nephew into losers by the hands of Snake Eyes.
Yeah, very well played. And I think right there at the end, it was just such a weird scramble. And Nephew, that drive impact felt like he was trying to do it maybe even before he was like back, and he just did it too early. And then a little panic moment. Tough position to be in, and Snake Eyes just cleans it up. So top 8 winner side, Zangief.
Let's go. And has to face off against Rashid. All right, a Street Fighter 5 throwdown. All right, I can respect that.
I like that. JB versus Snake. That'll be our match. So our winner side top 8 all set up, right? We have Reynold, up against Chris, and then JB versus Snake. So some good matches right there. Of course, we'll see everybody who lost on the loser side of the bracket, but well played. I mean, it was a scrambly one, and just a nail-biter too, right? It was very close to this set. So.
But you've seen like the blatant strategies that both players were kind of going for in the very, very beginning, right? Kind of introducing themselves a little bit to see what they had. But I did like Snake Eyes' adaptation to the big question we had prior to the matchup, right? It was, what are you going to do when Jury approaches you with that slow fireball?
Right. And like also the question constantly is, how do you stop drive rush, medium punch, or how are you going to stop this? And Snake Eyes, he had a lot of great checks with the medium punch. He just let it go and then perfect parried sometimes. Yeah, he had the SVD
beautiful.
like that. And I mean, just, counter DI here looks great. And then this last position in the corner, this perfect parry is kind of all it takes for stuff to get started. And Snake had a couple of level 2s on this last round. You build a lot of meter in this game, so dumping it, pretty good.
Oh, man. I was hoping to see the save jump just to kind of like memorize it one more time because that was beautifully done. That was like the meatiest, jump jab?
I think you did jump heavy, no?
Was that jump heavy?
I think so. Just
okay.
not the splash, just like the jump heavy.
Oh,
punch,
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I do like that, though, at the end there. Nephew, I think, trying to get out. He maybe was trying to DI from the interaction before. I have to wonder if that was what he was looking for. But Snake Eyes did drive rush headbutt into DI, which is, you can't do that. You got to do crouching medium punch or something else because it's a lock. You're 2+. If you're not familiar with what a lock is, by the way, we can explain it after we take a look at this bracket. It's Reynold up against Chris. We mentioned this earlier, JB versus Snake Eyes. But in this game, if you do something that's a true block string into drive impact, the game will not give you a wall splat. So there always has to be at least one frame of a gap between the button and the drive impact so that if you have super meter or something to get you out of it, you can use it to escape. If there's no gap, then the game says, nope, you don't get to, do a wall splat to
that's
get the
cheating.
stun or whatever.
Yeah,
the game is like, it's kind. It's like, listen, we're going to help out the defender here. So that's cool. We have Jot versus PR Rog. Winner plays Nephew. Speedkicks up against LPN. Winner gets their shot against Kizzy. Viscant versus Strider. And winner gets a shot against Samurai. Justin Wong versus Filipino Man. Winner gets YJK, who saw in that very first match up against Reynold.
So this is going to be pretty exciting, right? Two well-known players in the NorCal region. Jot actually had quite the journey. Fell short to Sonic Fox 1-2. I didn't even know Sonic Fox was in the West, actually, now that I really think about it.
Yeah, I think they're up in Seattle, if I remember right. Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. I like that. So Jot fell to Sonic Fox a little bit earlier, but Jot had taken down Jake Ryan, put him in the losers. Chris Wynn, I believe, ultimately eliminated him. And then Sonic Fox, he got the run back against Sonic Fox and took them down.
Impressive, right? So that's one of those things. You lose in tournament against someone, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, how did I lose? Like, what did I do wrong? What's happening here? The other person's like, cool, I did it. All right, next match, right? They're not thinking about it. So, Jot lost and then had that time to really think and be like, okay, what do I need to do right? And then shows up, gets the W in the second set. Very well played. Up against PR Rog, who we haven't seen so far, but obviously played and lost up against YJK earlier.
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah,
it's wild because I saw him from afar away at Evo with a baby stroller, but I didn't know it was a stroller at first. I'm like, that is a very expensive looking stick bag. Like, what is that? It's got like, you just push it around so you don't have to like hurt your back.
Yeah.
Then I got closer and closer. I'm like, you're a dad now?
Yeah.
This is actually kind of wild, but he's also still finding the time to body people. And I didn't know when I saw a CFN, I didn't realize it was him, and I'm like, dude, you've been grinding out this game.
Yeah, he's got a bajillion points.
He's so, man.
I've run into him in ranks so many times. Yeah, I mean, he's a grinder. Even in the Street Fighter 4 and 5 days, he was a grinder online. But there's like pictures of him at the local with like his child in his lap playing in tournament. Like, and I'm just like, well, that is,
Is that cheating? You enter both at the same time?
You got two. Yeah, that's true.
You can't have the baby coaching you.
Yeah, well, you got a quack bot it. You take two. Two slots.
One's PR, one's Balrog.
That's true.
That's what it is now. It's like a combination of the two. Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually. Now that you mention it, but yeah, I mean, it's cool to see him back. At that local I mentioned, he plays YJK, and then obviously YJK.
Right.
In losers now,
Put
but
him in the
wasn't
losers.
winners up there. Yeah, so that's cool. Cool to see. And then we see here the CFN. If you see the CFN and you're like, wait, that's PR Rog, then yes, that is PR
That
Rog.
is him. Yeah.
And the test. I run into this account like 3 or 4 times before. I was like, wait a minute, is that? And then it was PR Rog.
Oh, what a stop to the drivers. And I do like that, too. Jot, very much so well-versed. I actually haven't got to see a lot of Jot other than running into him online like, at least so often. But I don't run into him that often.
Yes, yeah. And a lot of people probably know Jot for the Minot. I think a lot of people think about in the last game. And then played some other characters as well, right? But a long time Minot.
Damn. That was quite the stoppage against the Hazanchi. That was mid-air. It's like an alley-oop to herself for Jury.
I like not doing the drive impact, right? Oh, the reactions. PR Rog's reactions for anti-air DP are super good, by the way.
Nuts.
Fights out with the jab. Pretty bad spot here for Jot. Back throw? Ooh, it wasn't a punish. So it does get out. Nice check. And And you get the medium kick legs there, which is pretty nice. Ooh, no check this time.
And the overhead split! Oh, you get to do even more after that? That's actually kind of disgusting. Didn't have to spend the super art to close it out. Instead, got the mix. Oh, punish counter, you already know. Against that sweep, Chun-Li can do it with forward or back medium punch.
Yeah, and that's a crouch-only combo you saw there, where she gets the stance into the launcher. She can do that if the character she hits is crouching. If they're standing, she can just do the regular spinning bird.
Cool.
Ooh, just waiting in the spin range. Oh,
it's kind of scary to
it.
do so, right?
You know, PROG is really good about just gambling in neutral. Like, I feel like that's one of his biggest strengths. Is like, his reactions are really good, so he just goes for it. Is he spinning bird this time because she's standing?
Because she's standing, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a huge fierce punish counter from PROG. Should be more than enough damage. Yeah, level 3 incoming. He's doing such a great job of throwing Jot off, at least in the neutral. There's been so many ways where Jot could have whiff punished PROG's attempts at low forwards and whatnot, but then afterwards, we kind of teased the idea. It's like, hey, I'll throw a normal right here and fake Jot out.
Yeah, I mean, he, like, historically has been someone who's really hard to slow down, right? Like, I think everybody thinks a bit about him as that archetype, like, you know, back when he was on Balrog, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't stop him. He's going to walk you down, he's going to force, he's going to make stuff happen. He's constantly just, like, really aggro, and he's so hard to stop.
Oh, I wonder what the option was from the side of PROG, being able to get hit like that. I'd imagine it's movement heavy.
Yeah. Whoa. We saw the double stance set up there off the heavy Tensho. Back throw.
Oh,
sweet.
We'll take that. Ah, got the big throw bait. Forward throw, more than enough damage.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the round that Jot needs, right? And those, you have to kind of like intercept when he's on the way in and just, you know, thrive in those scramble moments where PROG is trying to force stuff and make things happen.
Do they have the same forward walk speed? I think Chun-Li's back speed is a little bit faster than Jury's, but I think they have the same like forward walk speed, no?
Yeah, that is a good question. I'm not sure. But they're both very fast.
Very mobile, yeah. So I do like the idea of Jot kind of implementing some of these throw baits against PROG most of the time, but this time it's just been pure checks.
Yeah, confirm right there. Oh, missed it!
No!
Oh, drop there from PROG too, but harder to punish because you're in burnout.
Lucky.
Uh-oh. Is there a drive impact or not? Last time PROG didn't do it, and there's the level 1 to catch the backdash. So now no super meter though.
What was that?
He tried to parry and he put himself in burnout.
Opportunity. Oh, that could have been huge.
Well, now this is a really good spot for Jot here until PROG's drive gauge is back. Nice whiff punish. That was clean.
He's a fiend for it. He's looking for normals all the way through. And he's not going to stop pressing forward until you try to check him. That's the crazy thing. Jot is not afraid of your normals. He will walk in that space if you let him.
Yeah, and his forward or back medium punch, that move right there from Chun-Li, extremely good. Especially, I think, the change to parry drive rush to make it 2 buttons instead of forward makes that button really potent.
Oh!
That's where the jump's there.
Yeah, as solid as he is in the ground game, throwing in that look of the jump in to kind of test them is always a good thing to do. The PROG now in full control. He's rolling the dice on offense to check what he wants to do, but his Jot with the big bust out. Or so we thought. Yeah, PROG being able to catch that down forward heavy kick. It wasn't going to be on the other side either. It was way too shallow.
Yeah, PROG walk back on wake up, like back roll walk back, and then just anti-air DP it, which is clean. It's a good idea. Smart choice for sure. And look at that, backdash and then dashes in immediately, catches the counter hit. Oh, no launcher that time. Oh, drop. And
love to see that.
That's a punish, yeah. That is a big whiff. Sometimes her anti-air can be a little weird to crosscut, I think.
Ooh. I see. We're starting to see different looks coming in from PROG off of the drive rush.
Yeah, trying to say like, all right, you're going to check me. I'm going to wait and see. Launcher, and that'll do it. Nicely done there from Jot. Found the crouching confirm, got the combo, got the kill. So last round between these two.
Got a little funky up close. Yeah, that bit punish counter. He was waiting for it, too. He's like, you're going to charge up stock in my face? Well, guess what, man? My walk speed is so fast. And also, the handshake of death, best believe he's going to catch you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, walk back, walk. Try to anti-air, but it's tough. That jury jumping heavy punch is really gnarly to anti-air.
Yeah. The fact that you have to stand up twice, or if you're coming in from a walk back position, you have to stand up at least one more time to get the down, that's tough.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, man! You still get to counter off of that? It's so far.
He has level 2 again, too. So next hit's going to be very scary. Oh, puts himself in burnout here. Driving impact's very scary. Now 2 has the confirm, has the level 2 here. Jot just spends the 1 and gets the job done, eliminating PROG here before that top 8 chance. So scrappy little set between these two.
Yeah, it was kind of going off the rails a little bit, right? There was like no reassurance as to what was going to happen in regards to like what Norm was going to get whiff punish, etc. I think it was way more of a scramble towards the end. Jot starting to get, I guess, a little bit more antsy with his normals, but it paid off because that was the same time that PR Rog wanted to press some of his normals as well, kind of do like standing jab checks to kind of throw off the reactions. Because if you notice in the first part of the set, right, majority of the time Jot was waiting on PR Rog's normals, right? He was kind of preying on trying to get some of these big whiff punishes. So as soon as PR Rog understood that he was playing a reactive style, he was trying to throw out those jabs. That's when Jot completely switched it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was very scrappy. These characters are both very mobile, really good buttons, right? And so a lot of it is just that fight in the mid-range about who wants to initiate first. And PR Rog is happy to initiate a lot of the times, right? Like, he's that kind of play style, I think. So, you know, it's fun to watch Jot trying to wall up and keep him out. And really, really just, like, kind of snappy set between these two. Very strong players and a really, really fun one to watch, for sure. I like that set. There's some cool ideas from both of them. And it's always fun to watch PR Rog play. I feel like he's one of those players that every time he comes back, you're like, oh, there he is. So Jot a chance here for that top 8 slot up against Neff. So we saw Nephew go down to Snake earlier, and that's going to be the next set for him to try to make it into that top 8 loser side.
Still got plenty of more matches to go through. Obviously, it's going to be Speedkicks versus LPN coming up next. Then, of course, afterwards, Viscant versus 801 Strider. Then the last one in the round 1 of losers, Jay Wong versus Filipino Man. Taking a look at these two competitors, though, Speedkicks and LPN. Speedkicks has been doing great work. We've seen nothing but exponential growth with that jury. From the very beginning, I fought him off in ranked. Kind of scary. Yeah. I took him down, but I got to say, from that point up until now, he has been a beast with this character.
Yeah, Speedkicks is really, really impressive.
He's so good.
He's really good. He answers every tournament, too. I mean, you know, he's like constantly in everything that you see, and I feel like he's placing better and better and better, and he's, you know, beating some big names in tournament too. Players that I have been playing Street Fighter for a long time, and he's very impressive in this game. It's happy to see him playing and having some fun. Like, you know, watching him play other games and getting fed up. So to see him come over to play Street Fighter and just actually be like, yeah, like, you know, I'm having some fun now. That's cool to see for sure.
We also had LPN, who's doing pretty consistently over at his locals as well. Right. Guildhouse. Big shout outs to the NorCal scene in general. Also gets to play off against, obviously, PR Rog, YJK. No respect. Shout outs to him as well. You see it. LPN. Overall, I think he's had a fantastic start in the beginning of the game. Still sticking it out with Ken. Still trying to find out why, or not why, but where he's trying to, like, I guess, fit in with the way he's trying to play his playstyle and the character, right? He hasn't found that union just yet.
I think, you know, Ken is a really strong character, but it doesn't strike me as an LPN character that much, to be honest with you. Yeah, I feel like there's probably another character in the game that maybe fits him more, but, you know, he's found a really strong character for himself anyway, and he's good on the character, so maybe there's some merit to just picking the strong character that you're like, well, this is, you know, good enough for me. So we'll have to see here. Obviously, you know, has a slot in this top 16, so he's doing pretty well despite the maybe character wonder or whatever he's going on. But again, some jury, Ken, two very popular, very strong characters in this game. And I don't know if I've seen these two play in tournament.
I don't believe so. No. LPN would enter like every so often. He is a full-time family man, I think. Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's how you feel.
That was pretty cool.
Ooh, and early drive impact. I feel like LPN is one of those players for sure that's like down to just let it rip, you know?
Oh, he is, yeah. Very offensive-oriented is his play style.
Yeah.
Which I guess did very much so reward you as Ken, but...
He definitely wants to play fast and kind of scrappy, right? You know, known for like, I'm going to wake up with this, do this, kind of get like a little wild, stuff like that. Yeah. Wow, and just puts himself in burnout and then lets the dragon kick whip right away. Just, you know, lots of offense.
Now he has to pay for it. That's a great job of getting over the fireball. Speedkicks seems to be a little bit weary about that approach. You see the big counter hit against LPN. No time to check. Not far enough into the corner, but that's just fine. LPN went for the gamble, thinking to himself, all right, the fireball might be coming. I want to be preemptive about it. I don't want to get stuck in the corner.
Yeah.
Pays dearly for it.
And blocking drive impact and then immediately up forwarding is like one of the very level 1 kind of answers to that. And Speedkicks was super ready. So I think he's kind of okay now. He's like sees how LPN plays, and you can already tell that Speedkicks like, okay, I got to slow down a bit, right? Like I got to play, you know, a more reactive style and let LPN do what he wants to do.
Yeah, you could really see it from Speedkicks. He's been very passive about the approach thus far. Oh, but still no response. He doesn't have the response to Jinrai. That's actually pretty important. And LPN, once he smells blood, he is definitely the bloodhound in the match.
Yeah, gonna run him down. Tatsu for the corner carry here. And this is such a bad spot for Speedkicks. You even spend the meter.
Man, he's chasing you down. You really don't. I don't think you do. With that much life left in the tank in LPN, you just let it rock. You just hang out.
Yeah, I think if he DIs you there, you just have to eat it. You have to be like, yep, this is just my life. I'm losing this round probably, not spend the bar.
Yeah. Now you're thinking to yourself, LPN, as soon as I get this knockdown, do I go back into the well with the Jinrai mix-ups?
Yeah, whiff jab. Going overhead.
Oh,
and
he
the
is playing with it now.
Yeah.
He's found his groove.
Reset on hit, and then just goes for the DI. A really strong tactic. It's hard to be ready for that in this game.
And that's the LPN style, right? He will drop some of these combos intentionally just to get an even bigger payout.
Ooh, he tried EX Dragon Lash there. Interesting idea. Ooh, confirms. Speedkicks doesn't spend the bar yet. Caught the meaty. Oh, he puts himself in burnout here, but probably going to be the level 3. CA damage. Yep. That did a grip.
And that didn't build back any of his meter up until the CA launched.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage. I think you're within overhead. No, you need more than that. My mistake.
Oh, puts himself in burnout.
Oh, you tried to do it. Now, that's kind of tricky. If it was the lighter version of Dragon Lash, would that have been airborne in time to avoid the throw? Because I've seen other people do that.
Yeah, that's a good question. And also, if Speedkick delayed throw, I think that probably also would have worked. But, you know, I think LPN expecting a little bit more delayed response and not the snappy, immediate throw there from Speedkick.
And they're both in burnout, too, so that's kind of tricky.
Yeah.
Oh, great confirm. I love that.
Double medium punch, little counter hit. Yeah, I like that option, too, from Speedkick. Just saying, listen, I'm sick of this.
I'm sick of being here in the corner, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to slow him down a bit. Wow, LPN challenging on block again there and just getting hit over
and over again. He doesn't want to sit still. And you know you're gonna face timeout in the corner. You know it's you're gonna be pressing all these buttons. I'm gonna treat you like a child and keep meeting you over and over and over again. You're gonna learn today.
Oh, man. I think like the insistence on forcing, right, is like that's like kind of LPN style, and Speedkicks is doing a really good job of adjusting to it so far.
Ugh. That's something we haven't seen all day yet.
Yeah, those are like our first 2 drive reversals, maybe like the whole top 16. It's very strong against characters who want to. Oh, nice. Speedkicks. Characters that want to go for, you know, those drive reversal or drive rushes. It's a really strong option. Yeah, burns them out.
Beautiful.
Good choice.
Brings him up. He's so ready. Yo, Speedkicks actually.
Airborne
hit. This is the character for him right here. This is the speediest kicks you could ask for.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Oh, and the drive impact for the stun. That should be the kill here for Speedkicks. Little drive rush extension.
This guy's so good.
2-0. Very, very strong play, and I think he did a good job. That was a great example of like how to adjust to an opponent. You know, Speedkicks is playing, and then he sees like, oh, okay, this is the kind of opponent I'm dealing with. Someone who's just going to force. I need to slow things down a little bit and then see what he's going to do. Even that, like, the second to last drive impact hit on Wake Up Tatsu from LPN.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm trying to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not trying to play this video game where I have to block. And he was like, let me get out. So I like the option. Speedkicks, some good adjustments there. And LPN, you know, he tried lots of different things to kind of make Speedkicks crack, and he just couldn't find the right thing. You know, he just couldn't find a way to make Speedkicks uncomfortable.
And he was a little bit antsy, right? Towards like the second to last round, I believe, he was pressing so many buttons. I believe it was in this round where Speedkicks pretty much just had to play his game. He got to autopilot for a little bit and just pick every single offensive option he wanted to, whatever route he wanted to start off with. Yeah. LPN just ate all of it. It was baby's timeout.
I mean, that's the thing is like, when you play a style like this, you want your opponent to be scared of what you're doing at all times, but he couldn't really make Speedkicks afraid to press or do stuff, right? So Kizzy K versus Speedkicks going to be a top 8 qual right there. Winner plays the winner of Nephew and Jot on Sunday.
Now that I think about it, we didn't see a single bust out from LPN. Not a single OD Shoryuken.
Yeah, I think one of the things about players like LPN is because of the way they play, you expect them to do it, but then they just don't have to, right?
That is fair. That is actually extremely accurate when it comes to like playing off against LPN. You would think he would do something nutty because of the way he played his offense earlier by dropping it intentionally into a reset, but no, he didn't show that card off at all.
And I like that. I think that's one of those things that you got to just like try to throw people off. He tried a lot of stuff. Honestly, I think his game plan wasn't like maybe the problem. The problem is that Speedkicks just played really solid and made some good adjustments to what LPN was doing. So well played from him. Sets up our next match, Viscant versus 801 Strider. Cool to see Viscant in here, by the way.
No doubt. Yeah. Evo champion, as you mentioned earlier, then 801 Strider, who's been absolutely consistent in the realm of Street Fighter, but that's going to happen a little bit after the break. But although it is the last time we see LPN and PR Balrog in the loser side, it's not going to be their last time to get into the Capcom Cup, right? We do have the World Warrior events that are happening throughout the entirety of the year up until pretty much November, I think, is when all the finals are happening. I think November and December. But yeah, the Capcom Pro Tour still offering those chances to secure your spot. The World Warrior regional events now available to sign up for with 26 different regions. We're going to have 26 regional champions, again, all competing for the grand prize of that $1 million over at Capcom Cup 10. So again, if you guys want to get yourself into the World Warrior as well, CapcomProTour.com is where you need to go for all of that information.
Yeah, even if you're a qualifier for your region is already over, as you mentioned, right? It's a good spot to just do some World Warrior and still get that chance to qualify. Because if it's not your Capcom regional event, right, like this event is the region for North America and Canada West, then it's going to be your chance in World Warrior or one of the offline events. There's 2 left, so, you know, those are your chances to get it. And obviously, this is a big one here for World Warrior. So make sure you guys sign up if you haven't already and just start competing in them, happening every week, basically.
And speaking of every week, we still have Street Fighter League going down in Japan, dude. We got so many different teams, and this is what's going to be going on for, I believe, this coming Tuesday, Section 8. We got Shinobiism Gaming facing off against FAV Gaming, Detonation Focus Me versus Nagoya Oja Body Star, Saishun Console Kumamoto going up against Hiroshima Team Ikuza. This is so sick. The fact that we get to see this level of competition twice a week is phenomenal, but you got to stay up for it sometimes. But if you want to check out the VODs again, you still can. The action is going to be resuming with episode 8, September 1st. Excuse me. No, my bad. Episode 8 is going to be airing this Tuesday, August 29th. Then after that, it's going to be episode 9 on September 1st.
Yeah, so just, you know, follow the channel if you haven't already. You and St. Colo will be on there.
Yes,
doing
sir.
all the action on Capcom Fighters, as always. In the middle of the night, it starts at 3 a.m. Pacific, so you're up bright and early over there getting all the action for Street Fighter League Japan. Look at how cool this graphic is.
We get all of the teams, by the way. I didn't even get to mention the second part of that week. But, man, I got to say, when I saw the announcement for these teams, I was going nuts. Obviously, I'm a fan favorite of Kazunoko, not to show bias, but seeing him on the Cyclops team with Dogura, I'm like, dude, it's a match made in heaven. Then they threw in Goichi. I'm like, dude, these are like the trifecta of doom. Then Fenwich, I'm like, oh, this is busted.
Watching him play this game has been so fun because I remember the first time I saw him play like the demo, he was like new to the game, and I was like, man, you could tell he hasn't like played much Street Fighter yet. Watching him evolve since then on JP has been really fun to me. He's, you know, watching somebody come out from a different game, a different fighting game, and then jump into Street Fighter is always a cool experience, and he looks really sharp on that character.
Yeah, I think overall it's such a great blend of seeing some of the players that had really great success too in 5 really come out. I think towards the end of 5, like cats like Shuto come out, and Moke as well, come out to really show their stuff and how they've adapted into Street Fighter 6. So again, check it out. Street Fighter League Japan happening twice a week. Section 8 happening on the 29th, and then Section 9 happening September 1st.
Yeah, should be great. I always like catching it in the morning for my time, since 3 a.m. Pacific is a little...
I'm so sorry if I keep you guys up in the middle of the night.
Unreasonable, yeah. You're going ham in the middle of the night, getting excited about all the matches is really cool. So yeah, just definitely check that out. You know, obviously the competition is very strong, and there's a lot of good matches to watch all over the world. I'm sure you've been seeing high-level Street Fighter, not only on this channel, but everywhere else. And the matches have been great. So hopefully you've enjoyed all of our action so far. As Jeremy mentioned, we're going to take a little break. Come back with more CPT action in just a little bit.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
The soundtrack of Chipotle?
Oh, yeah. You come in, you're going to be hearing that sizzle. That's how you know that we always have fresh food.
Fresh is what you stand for.
Exactly.
Street Fighter 6.
Fighting is an art. And this is our canvas. Here, we flex our style, our passion, our creativity, our skills. We come here to break rules, to bend minds, to change the game. This is where we make an impression. is where we make our masterpiece.
Street Fighter 6.
Available now.
Objection! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Street Fighter 6.
Justin Wong is free.
Free in what way? You know, free. I got no teams. I'm representing myself. I guess that's free. You know what I mean?
So, you know, now, of course, we have Street Fighter 6, the new season of Capcom Pro Tour. $2 million for Capcom Cup, bro. $1 million to first place.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, so, I don't know, what did you think when you saw that, with you being somebody that been around for so long?
Man, it felt like, wow, we finally made it.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I used to win tournaments, $300 bucks. The first time I won Evo, I got $1,500 for being a world champion.
That's crazy.
Right? Now it's like you could be a $1 million winner.
Yeah.
Right? If you win Capcom Cup. I think that's really huge. That's crazy. It's life-changing money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at the players that we have now, everyone's playing. Right? We don't have just Capcom players.
That's what's fired.
We got everybody.
That's one of the reasons why the viewership is so crazy.
It is.
Before, I feel like the FGC was always kind of segmented.
Yeah.
And now it's like, we all converged on, on one thing.
Yeah.
Such a big, I would say, transition into the content side. Do you consider yourself like a pro player, competitive player and all that? Or is it more,
Do you see this shirt? Casual try hard.
That's true. Oh, I didn't, bro. I saw that shirt hanging up. I think at like 10 Oboe.
Yeah, 10 Oboe.
And I thought that was fire. And I did not notice that it's your. That it's actually your shirt.
I label myself as a casual try hard.
Okay.
Where I'm playing to entertain people, making the content, but I'm gonna try hard to try to literally land a really bad manner troll combos. Like when I'm playing ranked, I'm doing taunt combos with Blanca.
Yeah.
Right? I'm doing taunt combos with DJ.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'm playing modern mode and I'm like putting myself burnt out on purpose. I'm like, yo, drive impact me in the corner. I'm gonna put myself in the corner, think you could drive impact me.
Show me.
You know?
Yeah.
So like I do stuff like that. So but ultimately when I play good players, they make me remember that I can't troll. I have to play. So that's when the tryhard comes in. So I call myself a casual tryhard.
When it comes to you competing in CPT, are you on casual tryhard mode or are you on Jay Wong mode?
So because CPT, a lot of it, you know, you can play online and everything. Why not? If I'm in, hey, you know, I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm not, then I stream my runs, get some content. I love playing fighting games. Even 20 years from now, I feel like I'll still be coming to EVO, supporting CPT events in general. So ultimate end, I'm still gonna be playing.
Man's like Justin Wong, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Arguably the GOAT of all fighting games. And now we're about to get straight back to some CPT action.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Capcom Pro Tour West qualifier for US and Canada. Vin Diesel here with Paul Walker to bring you all the matches fast and furious. Going into the loser side, I'm just kidding. It's Vicious versus Sajam. But we're going to be talking about this a little bit more, right? I got to say, you all right over there?
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
cool.
I like that one. You know, it's all about family, Jim.
It always is, really. That's
Yeah.
that's what it really comes down to. This is going to be all a family affair in terms of champions. I think, you know, Viscant versus 801 Strider, very much so champions in their own right. You know, Viscant on a bigger stage with Evo. You know, 801 Gustavo, I got to say, 801 Strider has been a champion in the bodybuilding aspect, at least for the FGC, right? He knows one or two things about getting those W's on the body spectrum.
He makes it to the gym and on time to the tournament, which is an impressive combination, it turns out. It's difficult. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to do it. It's a difficult task for everybody out there, so impressive that Strider not only made it, but obviously has a chance here in the loser side of this top 16. So Viscant versus Strider, a cool one. I mean, you know, Viscant, interestingly enough, we brought it up earlier, Kizzy was in winner side top 8, and Viscant in the loser side. That is the pool that Christie was supposed to be playing in, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's unfortunate.
if he was here, I mean, I think all of us predict that he probably would be in top 8 winner side, if not just the favorite for the tournament straight up. Like, I think a lot of people, maybe 80% of people would say he's just the favorite straight up. So he didn't make it, and so now that pool opens up, and we see that we have Kizzy and Viscant in this top 16 loser side now, right? Which is very interesting. It changes things up. And Viscant on the Blanca, which is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, he was actually put down into losers by Velociraptor. You know, we haven't seen him play as much Big Event Hubs Rider 1 to 2. But here's the interesting thing, right? Since he got down into losers, I think Viscant had to face off against Combo Fiend 2-1.
Yeah.
Had to face off against No Respect, eliminating him 2-0. Then played off again against Velociraptor in a double jeopardy situation, taking him down 2-1. 801 Strider, his route, he fell short to JB 0-2, and he had to face Yanoob twice over to make it out.
Yes, and he makes it here, and he's on the Marissa now. You know, a lot of people I think have been not so sure about the future of Manon, right? It's been a character that a lot of people have been talking about, her strengths, weaknesses, etc. And this character I think makes a lot of sense. She's really powerful, and I think is a character that a lot of people were interested in trying in the beginning of the game. They wasn't sure about her long-term viability, but she's a very strong, very well-rounded character, good in a lot of ways, and I think it kind of reminds me of him on the Abel or the G, where like the win condition is so clear and obvious, and the damage is so huge. And he has really good ground game, right? His footsies are really strong. So he makes those like one chance moments happen with his really excellent ground game, and that sets him up for the victory and like those big kind of blowout, spectacular moments. You get hit by one charge forward heavy kick, and then it just cuts to like the halo and the character going up. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, the life just getting drained out of the body. You could see it. But I guess you could say in regards to the ground game, Blanca also has a phenomenal one, and also in a similar sense in the very beginning, nobody was really sure about how good or bad Blanca is, was, I should say.
Yeah, and he's a really strong character. I think these two are two of the better characters in the game. And Blanca, you know, it's interesting. He didn't play Marissa since the beginning of the game, and I feel like Blanca is one of those characters that when you're learning a new character, you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. Whereas Viscant, he's played Blanca in almost every iteration of Street Fighter. I think even in versus games, too.
Yeah, he likes him some Blanca, which Blanca's really fun and really strong in this game, too. So, you know, it's a good combo of things that happen. Wow, back medium kick traded right there.
And he's hopping right into the fray as well.
No check on the drive rush. And you saw that age up there. 43 was it for Viscant?
Doesn't even look like it, man.
Yeah, I mean, Viscant, he's the same kind of rule that I have. If it says longtime Street Fighter 2 fan, you got to check if they can DI back.
Is that actually his title? Because I believe it.
Nah, I don't know.
I would believe it.
If I ever see that title, I drive Impact. A little tip for you on rank out there for everybody.
I don't know, man. I feel like he does have the type of reactions that we're looking for, because look at that already.
Yeah.
Even it was full screen, granted,
That's
3/4
true.
of the screen, whatever. But he is a versus champion.
Yeah, versus game player is going to have the reaction.
Oh,
that's not
that's
gonna
fine.
hit.
Yeah. That's totally fine for Viscant. You're starting to see the unfamiliarity in the matchup from 801 Strider.
That's kind of what I expected. I think it's a weird character to fight when you're playing a new character, especially, you know? So I think Strider's he's trying to force a little bit, right? He's like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what's going on, maybe, so let me get in there and make something happen.
Oh. Serve it on a platter 2 times over, catching the end of the fingernails. Gross.
Yeah, his standing medium punch and crouching medium punch are both excellent for that. They're really good pokes. You see Viscant poking here with it. A lot of drive gauge on that. And then you're going to be close to burnout here after this Blanca Ball sequence. Yeah, parry, very important to not.
Oh, but he gets the bait. If you go downwards, yeah, immediately after the first block Blanca Ball, it's genius. We see that plenty of times over through Meta RD. Viscant well aware of what to do in those situations, and I like that, the stance, get him off.
Yeah, very good against those errant Blanca balls and stuff, too. It can be a very useful tool. You get him knocked down into the air. Counter hit combo. Oh, he did the wrong move. I feel like that's one of those, like, just unfamiliarity moments. Like, he could just do jab into core circle back light punch. Maybe he thought it was going to be punish counter, so the Gladius was going to link or something. I don't know.
Possibly.
Oh, wow. Double drive rev. Viscant gets the better of it.
Pop forward, applying the lights. And I like the trickery there, too, to kind of see what 801 Strider would do about it. And that's a great response against the OD Blanca Ball. Sit him down. There was an attempt to at least, you know, you got the parry for sure. But if you perfect parry it, it's going to be your turn.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, you're going to burn yourself out for it? That's so tricky. Yo, Viscant, I see you.
Oh, I like it, too. Baits the counter right there. And, yeah, things are not looking good. I think Strider's answers here. He looks a little unsure that's a bait. Doesn't get the full punish or anything, but Viscant in a pretty good spot.
Ooh.
About to be out of burnout as well.
Yeah, there is a gap in between it. Viscant not really trying to parry it. He's like, you know, if I have the meter, I should definitely kill here.
Yeah, set point here from Viscant. Like, I think playing this very well. And there's the check. Yeah, you have to be ready for that. The whiff recovery on it's very low on the air OD
You
ball.
get set up. Yeah, I was going to say set up for Blanca-chan on the way over. And that's great evasiveness from 801 Strider, not even trying to deal with that scenario or even force a block.
You see the jump backs threatening the air ball, and then that's why Strider tried to air and misses. Oh, that's big.
And
Burnout
for
now.
nothing. You would have think, you know, he would do any sort of follow-up afterwards, perhaps. I don't
Nice
know.
counter, and this is a huge punish. That's why you can't just go for raw drive impact against this character. The damage.
You're not quite dead, but this is going to be great, right? You get to push him all the way to the corner. You don't get a meaty setup. You don't have drive rush, but this is the time to kind of wait and react. No, he's going to go right into it. The phalanx just gets stuffed out. No, not like this.
Big jump. Viscant has level 2, also almost level 3, actually. Oh, it hits.
Oh, no.
CA's available.
Going to activate off of this. Watch out for the throw, right?
Oh! The back medium kick 2-0. Evo champ Viscant taking out Strider here on that fresh switch over to Marissa. Very impressive stuff. And I have to imagine.
Damn.
If you're him, right? You know that this Marissa is a long-term investment, you know? But it's just unfortunate that the qualifier for him was so early in the year, right? He just had to play CPT NA West quite soon, and he made the switch over to the character. So maybe we'll see some more success for him in World Warrior or something like that, which is what I expect. But impressive performance from Viscant there. I think he played that really well. Whether you know the Blanca matchup or not, I think he had a lot of really strong options in there.
Yeah, that is fair, right? Even if you decided to pick up Marissa at the very beginning, I think the way that Viscant had handled majority of what Marissa wanted to do, but also the way he carried himself for his offense was so phenomenal.
Yeah, he did a lot of really solid stuff. I think, like, little things go a long way with Blanca, like baiting the parry with the ball down in level 2 was very, very nice. And then the way he was positioning himself with the jump back to threaten the air ball and then just not doing it, you know, kind of baiting Strider in.
Oh, yeah.
I like that kind of stuff too. Look at this punish.
It's very blatant, right? You're seeing the level 1 aspect of it. You're like seeing what the opponent's about on defense. Then you kind of transition into level 2. Then afterwards, it's just kind of like steamrolling for Viscant. You saw it right there. That was the first real check that we've seen off of the level 2, I think, from Viscant. I don't exactly remember the string that had happened. The first level 2 he had. I don't even know if it was off of a string in general because it was so fast.
Yeah, I think he did like a back medium kick, ball, and then Strider parried or something like that.
No, I mean like to get into like level 2 initially, right? Like, I didn't see what he had done to activate first.
Yeah, there's like two main things. It's either a heavy punch right into it or like button into OD electricity into it, right? Either way. So those are the two common activation points. Well done there from Viscant. He has got a chance up against Samurai to make it into this top 8. Very impressive stuff for him. And it's cool to see him here playing and gaming. I've run into him many times in ranked. He's always fun to play. He's got a lot of strong stuff going on there with Blanca. And sets up our last match on the other side here, Justin and Filipino Man.
Man, these guys have been following some sort of script because majority of it has been 2-0. Look at this shirt from Filipino Man. I am a huge fan. Let's go. Team Pineapples all the way. But also, we got the casual try hard from Justin Wong. You know, he's got to rep the squad. I get that. That's totally cool.
Justin makes that face in every picture, by the way.
I love it.
I don't think, you know how there's like the meme, I always use the same headshot? He always makes the same face in every picture. I love that. It really cracks me up.
It's so good. It's so good. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I didn't know that Cammy was going to be the character represented from the side of Justin Wong, but Filipino Man going for the Chun-Li, it makes sense.
Yeah, classic. Whenever Rose is not in the game, he's a Chun player. That's really kind of how it works for him, right? For the most part. He played some Manat as well, obviously, because of the correlation there. We also have a quote from Justin, actually, which I'm interested to see what he has to say. Something about being a casual, right? Beat me so I can spend time with my daughter. That's very cute.
That's the best.
And that's also a good OS. I like that. It's like, it's very sentimental and sweet, but it's also like, if I lose, I'm just going to go hang out with my family, who I love and
That's
cherish.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
Man, this era of Justin Wong, it's so fun to tune into and just also kind of like see him on his journey with his whole family, man. So it's been really, really fun. So sentimental. So kind of curious to see how it's going to play out. I actually haven't been watching too much of his Cammy. I've been too much involved with his YouTube channel in general and watching how he's done his Road to Diamond with Modern and other characters in general. Like he's done different play styles as well. I know he did it with Modern Zangief, and that's the one that we got to talk to him the most about recently.
Right. Yeah. And you know, the thing is, Cammy is like the tryhard character for him, right? Like if he calls himself a casual tryhard, Cammy is the tryhard character. This is a character he plays when he's trying to win in tournament and exhibitions and everything he's been playing in. This is a character that he plays. And he plays classic Cammy. You know, it makes sense, I think. Yeah. This character is very solid. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this character a lot in online tournaments and stuff. And, you know, she has really good anti-fireball stuff. Really just like solid pokes and options in general. She's extremely well-rounded. I think she doesn't have a lot of stuff that's like super like egregiously like I'm just gonna do this and win. Yeah.
The only thing that I guess you could consider that is I was gonna say spin knuckle.
Spin knuckle, yeah. But everything else is like pretty like, you know, you play neutral and win, and like that's the kind of character I think that suits Justin quite well.
Would dive kick, I guess, be in that general area in terms of like kind of obnoxious?
Only when it hits you punish counter. Otherwise, I think dive kick is like pretty reasonable in this game. It's definitely been way more unreasonable in other versions.
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fair. Yeah.
But it's like, you know, it's why I think you see people like Punk and Justin on Cammy. It's because, like, they're just fundamentally sound players, and, like, a fundamentally sound character is what you want to take. You know, you're not looking for, like, let me skip neutral with this or do this silly thing or whatever. It's like, literally, I just want, like, good normal buttons and options that, like, cover a lot of things and solid anti-airs, and I can just win off my solid fundamental choices rather than, like, doing silly stuff and hoping for the best.
Yeah. I love that quote, too, by the Giga Cat. Was it the Giga Cat, right? Did I say that correctly? All right, great, cool. Go home and be a family man. All right, bet.
Yeah, like, I'm cool with that.
He's already done that and still found success in whatever avenue he's pursuing. So that's crazy.
Maybe Filipino Man should throw and be like, haha, now you can't hang out with your family.
Hold that. Oh, man, that's so devious.
That's a good idea, right? I like that.
I feel like Filipino Man would definitely be about that option, too. He's like, you know what? I got to ruin his family day. Yeah. Hold that. You're going to play for 2 days straight?
Yeah, make you play both days. You lose the weekend. I like that idea. Pretty smart. I don't need the million.
Oh, I love that. We haven't seen that option exercise at all in terms of the footsie game from the last Chun-Li we saw, right? That standing heavy punch is so good.
Yeah, exactly. And Filipino Man, I think, is one of those players. He's very active, right? Like, he's always trying to do stuff. He plays defensive characters, but he is okay pulling up on you. You know, he doesn't have to be just a wall. He's down to just say, what up, I'm going to go for kind of, you know, pressure and see what happens.
He's trying to hold on to this life lead as much as possible. I don't know what it was that got him hit by the crouching heavy punch from Justin, but it's the air approach again that's stopping Filipino Man from reacting. Again, you can't really react too much or anticipate like the dive kick as much as you want to, because again, more often than not, you'll get punish countered for it.
Yeah, Justin Wong backed way off, trying to wait for that drive gauge to come back. And Filipino Man was okay just waiting for a bit, right? Just saying, okay, cool. Oh, I like it. Trying to represent something weird and throw Justin off there. Down forward heavy kick, looking for the cross up in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, but it was Justin kind of being evasive about it, just kind of jumping out of the way. That's something totally fine. You know, Filipino Man going for the reset. Dirty birdie.
And level 1 after. Not enough. Oh my, and Justin with 19 seconds on the clock.
Oh boy.
This is a long road though.
Don't say it. Don't do it.
Is he going to check here? He can check
can
in
trade.
the middle. Yeah, he can
trade.
trade and hit a button. He doesn't choose to. So instead, Justin Wong here takes the stun, but it's a long way to go. He
Oh,
techs.
not like this. 3 seconds left. He gets to freeze the timer if it's level 3. He gets it. Justin Wong gets it. There's no timer scam here.
It's not.
Oh,
no,
I
it's
thought he was
level
going to
2.
do. I thought he did level 3. Oh my God, I thought he did level 3.
He did build the bar, and not only did he spend it, and he just loses at the end.
Man, I thought it was level 3, Steve.
I can't believe Filipino Man tech there too. That was like, yeah, that was spooky. That was a spooky sequence for sure.
I just assumed it was level 3. Was I wrong? Was I wrong to assume that?
He
got it, right?
Yeah, he did build it. I think.
Okay.
And lost it.
Whew. I thought I was gaslighting myself. I'm like, he had level 3, right?
I'm pretty sure he had it in time, but it's hard to know. Oh man, carry back throw. And a risk it. It's, you know, it's okay for Cammy though, because if she does that, I mean, she gets out of the corner, right? So pretty good position. Oh, into the
Oh, that's, yeah. It was just too slow to fireball.
It does spin knuckle. Trying to force the corner here. Hazanshu again. That's gonna get
That's
hit.
not
Yeah.
gonna work.
But a miss there from Filipino Man as well. Now in the corner, maybe holding up there, trying to get out. Baits the throw, but nothing. And now this is still possible for Filipino Man.
I love that option too. Again, just backing away from the down forward heavy kick, just with the back throw, or back jump. Why am I saying throw? Hello. Man, I'm still thrown off by that last round, but Justin Wong cleaning it up. Tied up.
He's just doing down forward heavy kick over and over. He's really trying to force it, and Justin has jumped out of basically all of them so far.
I wonder if there's a time for her to jump back air throw.
Oh, her drive impact. Surprising right there. Almost spin knuckle through the fireball there too.
Yeah, we love that. The big whiff punish against the dive kick from mid-screen to Filipino Man, absolutely ready for it. But Justin Wong now, he has to figure out a different approach.
Oh, punish.
-8.
Not even a punish, just a regular throw. Yeah, -8 on that. Oh, no parry. And he risks it. On the Tensho kicks, it lands. Oh, it doesn't go for it. Wow, he puts himself in the corner, though. Very scared to do anything, though, which Cammy level 3 locked and loaded. It's a full screen bullet, basically stops everything.
You have to spend it now to get him in burnout.
Yeah. So that'll be the life lead and burnout for Chun here. And if it's not burnout, he could do meaty drill or something too.
Oh, that wasn't enough.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Man, that's so tricky. You were like a pixel away from getting the burnout, but now it's Justin Wong. Hey, it's not too bad. You're not hanging out and burnout yourself for too long.
Yeah, it's almost over, but Filipino Man is forcing, kind of getting the corner positioning here. And he just lets it rip. He has level 3. The CA should be enough here. More than enough, I think, actually.
Yeah, don't drop this. Don't do what Justin Wong had done in the previous round. He's learned the lesson from his predecessor. I gotta say, that was pretty scary from both ends. I didn't know her face was smothered up on the glass like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Dude, that was one game.
That was one game.
That was the longest game I've ever seen in my life.
To be fair, yeah, most of the games have been rounded out to like under 70, like just about 70 seconds, and then like 80 also.
Yeah. Oh, bad whip there for
Jeez.
Justin, yeah. Oh, but no completion from Filipino Man.
We'll take that punish counter throw.
Yeah, 2,000 damage. You get their drive gauge down because it's punish counter too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, this is
Jeez!
what is he?
What a dance!
That
That
is
was
the
so
most
funky.
Filipino Man looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Was it 2 lights into a medium kick?
Yeah, his whip medium kick. Just go for it. Overhead. Perfect
Oh,
parry.
yes! That's the kind of dirty stuff I like to see. Yo, Filipino Man, you need to keep doing more of that. Justin Wong, hey, this isn't a bad look for him. Although it's match point for Filipino Man, Justin Wong's like, hey, man, this is what I wanted.
You got to get to go hang out with the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that he tried that earlier. The overhead on like minus on block and a perfect parry, and Justin,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't get the perfect parry timing, but this time he did. So
Oh. You saw the attempt to kind of stop the drive rush normal with the stand jab. Oh.
I like spending this to get the close to burnout here. And immediate will do it. So
Tensho?
does Justin wake up with the OD again is the question. Yep. Does do it. Gets him out of the corner.
Oh. That was so much drive gauge off of that standing heavy punch, by the way. It's nasty.
Yeah. Close to burning out Filipino Man. He just let the drive impact rip, though. And he's playing rather cautious, right? Even though he has, you know, burnout activated for Justin. Oh, this is big. He can drive impact or not is the question. He doesn't go for it. I like that. And then he does it from
Let's
downtown.
go. That was actually so deceptive. And to be fair, you know, with the cautious approach that he's been taking the majority of the time, it's so unexpected to see that drive impact, one of the riskier things that you could do, come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was so far, too. Like, you started walking out of the corner, you're like, I'm okay here. I don't have to worry about it. And he just lets it rip from downtown, gets the splat on that. So 2-0, Filipino Man in a scrambly, odd game. Gets the W against Justin Wong. That was like a wild 2-0. I feel like that 2-0 was longer than like every other set so far.
Yeah, I mean, like with the amount of energy we exerted into calling the games out too, you know, it's pretty much that feeling. He definitely had it. He definitely had it, by the way.
Unfortunate there that Justin didn't see it. I mean, that would have been, especially because he won the round after, right? Could have been the game there for him. So, you know, a couple of DIs actually cleaned it up for Filipino Man. Now that I think about it, both to close out the first and second.
That's right.
There.
Yeah, I think that's well in line with what he should do because he's playing it so cautious. He doesn't want to get Wong factored ever.
True. Yeah, that is always the danger. You just hit it and you're like, uh-oh. I like that he let it rip. He wasn't afraid. And, I mean, he's not dead there if Justin counter DIs, right? Like, it's not like you're in the worst spot of all time. So I think pretty okay to let that rip, which sets up Filipino Man up against YJK. And also, we see Filipino Man in a lot of the top 8s for these kinds of West Coast brackets, right? He's someone we expect to make it far. So him versus Justin, you know, a matchup I'm not surprised to see. Well played from both of them, and it moves on. So our last 4 matches of the day here. We're going to be starting back up at the top, of course. But here we have it. Nephew versus Jot, Kizzy versus Speedkicks, Samurai up against Viscant, and YJK Kimberly versus Filipino Man, who just won that last match we saw just a second ago. Those will be our top 8 losers qualifiers. Of course, the winners qualifiers we got earlier, in case you missed any of them. We have Reynold up against Chris CCH and JB up against Snake Eyes.
It's going to be exciting through and through, right? This is going to be the loser side still that we're going through in round 2. Nephew versus Jot. Now, I feel like they've been a part of 2 opposing camps towards the end of Street Fighter V. There was a big campaign, I feel like, against Nephew because he was so dominant in the West Coast, right? They started to form a coalition. It was Jot, Chris CCH, Flaquito, and Filipino Man, all trying to figure out Nephew and also Samurai at the same time. So this is going to be somewhat of a, I think, personally, is a rivalry.
Right, exactly. And Nephew, you know, he's really solid in this game, obviously, too, right? He's had really good results offline and online. And he had that nail-biter of a set up against Snake earlier. So, you know, being in winner's side, he has to come down here now, and Jot's going off of a win. He's feeling good, feeling great, right? And then you have Nephew who's just, you know, got to be like, man, if I just did this, this, and this, I could have beat Snake, right? Yeah, so, you know, he's going through it.
I'm still thinking about the quote, now you hit me with his voice.
Snake Eyes is scary, yeah.
Snake Eyes is scary. That was pretty good. I don't know how you come up with like the voices so accurately. That's fair. That's unfair. You have so many different like ranges that you could hit. That's broken.
It's because you got to watch a lot of his streams.
I do. I mean, I talked to him personally, right? And it's just like I can't get to that. I don't know. Like you got the character like down pat. It was weird.
He is. He's funny, man. Nephew really cracks me up.
He's a really funny guy. He's very soft spoken, but he's like definitely one of the funnier cats out there.
I'll never forget the YouTube comment that said like Nephew is like he is rude in lowercase letters. You know what I mean? He's like devious in lowercase letters. Like he's a little sneaky guy sometimes, you know.
Yeah. He's definitely got the power to throw some shade, man. Yeah, he's a real smart guy.
It was that he's toxic in lowercase.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got lowercase toxic energy.
And then he'll smile at you and say, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
He knows exactly what you mean, but he'll ask anyway. He's like, "Go on, tell me more about myself."
Yeah. Funny guy. As we see, same kind of matchup we saw earlier for Jot, obviously, right? BPR ROG in the last matchup, and now up against a second jury for this top 8. Gets the splat and just takes the DP there. Doesn't stock up because he's already got 3 stocks.
Yeah. Which is kind of wild, right? It's not going to be the reactive style that Jot is more comfortable with playing because Nephew, he's just going to go out with something where you can't really react to it. You have to either hold it or, okay, well, up until that point, right? If it was a fireball into drive rush, you would have had to come up with a different option.
Right, but immediate, you know, forcing the issue. It's kind of how Nephew plays. He's down to just drive rush in there. I mean, Colleen in the last game, she had a drive rush when she had meter, right? She just slid right in. Yeah. So same kind of idea. Crouching confirm, goes for the launcher. Double dash, and just, respects the Oki, and Nephew goes for the back dash.
Oh. You don't want to lose the momentum, but lost it anyway. We're going to see this level 3 do a significant amount of damage, but what's really important here, I think, is the turn of the tide for the drive gauge between the two.
Yeah. Gives you the lead. Swaps your positioning basically on the drive gauge. 2 for you. 2 go away for your opponent, basically. So pretty good spot. Oh, jumping in the front. No completion, but that'll do it here. Nice and easy. Game 1 for Nephew, and it's really hard to put the brakes on this guy. I mean, we saw it against in the Snake Eyes set, right? Snake did find some solutions, but in the beginning, we saw the same kind of thing where he just forces with Fireball Drive Rush or regular Drive Rush or Dash or whatever.
Sure.
Crouching medium kick just like that, and he finds it. And once that offense gets going, it's very hard to keep him away from him.
And I will say it is kind of smart to kind of do a sharp angled jump against Chun-Li specifically in the corner, because that Tencho kick can be kind of funky. I don't think there's any other anti-air she has that can hit consistently on that angle. So if Nephew gets Jot in that position again, which he's close to doing, it might be lights out.
And drive rush jab this time. A little bit harder to check, and then, yeah, we saw medium kick from Jot. Interesting idea.
Yeah, I feel like it was just a right normal at the right time kind of deal. I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It would have been funny if that was crouching medium kick attempt, or have to see. Ooh,
boy,
found the whiff, but wasn't the right special.
What was that? That wasn't a counter hit. Nephew caught something from Jot. It was movement-wise. It wasn't any sort of normal.
Yeah, and it puts him on set point here. The pressures look really clean from Nephew. Oh, just catches an accidental punish counter there too.
The backdash away from the Jot. He was moving back and forth in anticipation of anything from Nephew on wake up or like a reversal.
Man, he is smothering. Like, this is Jot can find no answers. It's about to be burnout as well, by the way. Yeah, there it is. Nephew, does he let the drive impact rip or not? He's playing it slow so far.
Yeah. Knowing full well that Jot does have super available, and he goes for it anyway. So this level 2 is going to be pretty significant for Jot, pretty much tying it up in life. But again, the burnout is so significant. Forward throw, what happens afterwards? Jot just about to build his gauge back. Yes, he gets to play. It is, unless he can get around Nephew's normals. He does so.
Oh, spends it all here. Puts himself back in burnout, so... Ooh, good block there. Yeah, Nephew is ready. Not enough to kill him, but he finds a little pickup there on the crouching medium kick, so signs of life.
Yeah. As common as that safe jump is, it's still so tricky to defend against. What if they do empty jump?
Exactly, yeah. And with no parry, it's a little bit more spooky to deal with.
Right, yeah. Can't blow up the safe jump like that. Oh, good stoppage there with the medium punch. We'll take that as Jot. And jumping out of the way, yeah, Nephew, he's not even trying to deal with standing medium punch. But to be fair, Jot wasn't within range. It's too close by.
Yeah, I like the double dash. Nephew, you know, he's been a bit belligerent with the drive rush so far, and like once it gets stopped, he just went to 2 other options, right? Double dashed up, and then that time he just held his position and hit crouching medium kick.
Do you tempt with the DI?
Why not?
Do you do that here?
Ooh, now he hit heavy punch. No cancel, by the way. Just in case. The scariest DI is the raw DI. I was just going to mention as he lets it rip. 2-0 for Nephew there. Listen, if you block a move, right, then like buffering the super for the DI is a little bit easier. It's the raw DI that's like the hardest to deal with. You have no time to like, oh, I need to buffer here or anything like that. You have to raw just be ready, and that is really hard to do. So impressive stuff. Nephew punches his ticket into the top 8 tomorrow, in on loser side over Jot, who had a very nice showing regardless.
Yeah, you can see the kind of variance between the different styles of jury play that people need to get accustomed to. But Jot, again, still kind of right there. He's on the right track. Just a couple of missed call-outs against Nephew. To be fair, though, I mean, his overall defensive package, I think, is pretty much up there. He knows full well when to kind of utilize his meter to stop some of the DIs for free. But there are some moments where the raw ones will just catch you. And that just happens to everybody.
Exactly.
So big ups to Jot.
Very difficult to be ready for that kind of stuff, you know. So impressive stuff for him. Really well played, and you know, 9th place. I'm sure he wanted to make it further, but obviously this is just how it goes sometimes. Well played for Nephew, I have to say. You know, he had that close setup against Snake, and you know, afterwards he looked very sharp in that set for sure. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying all the action, and a lot of this action is brought to you thanks to the lovely partners who helped make this happen. Of course, Chipotle is here for this first year of Street Fighter 6, so thanks to them for supporting the Capcom Pro Tour, and you can support us through them by downloading the app and getting their Chipotle rewards. It's the fastest way to earn some Chipotle, so if you're hungry, like I'm sure all you gamers are, it's dinner time here. I'm getting there myself. You know, you can download that app and support some Chipotle, you know, make your order extra, as I'm sure you've heard many times in all the commercials so far.
For a split second, I thought it was the actual commercial coming on. I'm not going to lie to you, man. You're the guy. Say the line,
I did
man.
do the line. That was me. I did say that. Thanks, Chipotle.
We still got the final leg of the top 16 to determine who the rest of our top 8 competitors will be, and that's going to be happening right after this break, so do not go anywhere. We highly encourage you guys to hydrate, get yourself some snacks, Chipotle even. We'll be back with more Street Fighter 6 right after this.
Chipotle, real food always starts with real ingredients in real kitchens. When you order Chipotle, real food starts with you. whether it's in restaurant, pickup, or delivery. However you Chipotle is the easiest way to Chipotle.
I present the Hunter from Komura.
Which one of these was the herbal medicine again? Oh yeah, this one. Probably. Now, here comes the airplane. Say ah. No! Some poisons can kill people in the thousands with that amount. Like botulinum toxin, it inhibits acetylcholine release, causing loss of muscle tone, lethargy, dizziness, visual impairment. Heavy eyelids, intense thirst, loss of speech, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach distension, breathing difficulty, then respiratory failure.
The doctor is in the office. As you can see, I am joined by one of the West Coast finest, straight out of Seattle, representing that Zangief. Dr. Danny Fan, what's going on, bro?
What's good?
Bro, so, first off, where does the doctor come from, man?
Before Street Fighter 6 came out, 5 came out, I was applying for medical school. I got into medical school. My homie was like, you should buy the Street Fighter 5 game, get your mind off food. I was like, bet. Got the game, started playing, won my competition. I was like, I'm pretty good at this, I'm gonna keep going. And I beat some guy named Daigo.
That's when I first ever saw you, bro.
Then I beat some guy, I was like, I might be pretty good at this. And then eventually, I figured out that I didn't want to go to medical school anymore. But then when people asked me what my handle was, I was about to go to medical school. So I was like, I don't know, Dr. Danny Fan. And it just stuck, right? It just stuck.
That's fire. Yeah. All right, so with Street Fighter 6, we know everything is bigger and better. We have all of these type of way more new fans.
Totally.
All different fighting game players are playing Street Fighter. And $2 million now at Capcom Cup, bro. I know you've always been very keen on the business side of the FGC and wanting to see it better. So how did it feel for you to see this blow up to this point right now?
Honestly, it was such a big surprise, and I think it exudes a lot, even at EVO and at tournaments, and how people talk about the game, how people play the game. The energy is just so much more positive.
Yes.
Everyone's excited to talk about the game. You're proud you're playing Street Fighter 6. It's nice to play the game that everyone wants to be good at, so it brings that competition to that next level.
One last thing I gotta ask you about, Danny Film.
Yeah.
There's been a huge wave in the FGC over the last few years.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting in shape in the FGC, it's very common. And a lot of us would 100% agree. I mean, I feel like it's a fact. You started it, #FitFGC. Yeah. What happened with that?
I don't even take ownership over it. I feel like everyone kind of ran with it, which is what I wanted, and it's just a great way to bring the community together for fitness, Yeah. Super proud of it. I'm super proud of everyone. I always give people props when I see them at EVO. They go, yo, I'm in shape now. That is what's up. Balance your life. Don't just sit all day. You can do both. You can do both, trust.
And you are a prime example of that. Man's like Dr. Danny Fam, all about that muscle power in-game with Zangief and outside in real life. One of the West Coast finest and Zangief extraordinaire. Highest place in Geef at EVO. 7,000 plus players.
That's right.
Imagine.
I'm him.
Make sure you guys check out this amazing action that we're about to have coming at you right now with the CPT Online.
Let's go.
Welcome back. I like that Danny at the end said, let's go. He got involved in where they're coming back soon. That's cool.
I love that. I really do.
What's up? And hopefully you've been enjoying all the action so far. Danny was in this tournament and then DQ'd. I heard that he's at a festival.
Probably.
Yeah, so he didn't make it either. But I would have loved to see him in the bracket. Honestly, he probably could have made.
What festival's going on, but
yeah, he probably could have made top 8 in the bracket. Honestly, he's a very impressive player. Hopefully, he does well in some World Wars and some other stuff. And thanks for the interview. It's always nice to hear from him. Yeah. Of course, this is the CPT action that's going down for North America and Canada West. We are in our last couple of matches here. We're breaking down the last 4 that we have. Of course, last 3 now, actually, now that Nephew has taken out Jot. So it's going to be Kizzy versus Speedkicks, Samurai versus Viscant, YJK versus Filipino Man, and then we're set with our top 8 bracket for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, this last leg of the top 16 will definitely be a rough one, considering this is the loser's side. But for the most part, we're looking at the way that they've been performing thus far for some of these players. Now, you're looking at Kizzy K, Samurai, and YJK. They had to kind of, take that speed bump from the winner side and kind of hang out and watch the loser side go down. But at the same time, you see Speedkicks on the other hand doing fantastic work, getting his 2-0. Viscant, very impressive to see him out in the streets, actually in the jungle now with 2-0 as well against 801 Strider. Then, of course, Anton Filipino Man. He has to face off against YJK, but not before he had that impressive 2-0 against Justin Wong, doing him the big favor, actually.
Right. And, a lot of them, particularly the players that were in winner side to start this, they haven't played in a while. They had that adrenaline. They were like, okay, I'm 1 match away from top 8 winners. And Kizzy, Samurai, and YJK all lost their matches a while ago, right? So they've been sitting there for a while waiting while their opponents have won their last match. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can turn it up like Nephew did, obviously, in his match and get the job done. So Kizzy up against Speedkicks, 2 players that we're kind of familiar with from other titles other than Street Fighter, right? Playing here for a spot in top 8 losers in this bracket.
Now, this is going to be kind of a tricky one. I think both of these players kind of play to the tune of what's been given to them in the field. So I think this is going to be who gets to initiate what first that's going to find the success overall. That's my overall analysis with the way that these two kind of play, right? Yes. You saw Speedkicks kind of take the backseat towards the game that he played against LPN.
Exactly.
Figured out how he wanted to, progress after seeing the speed of LPN. I feel like with Kizzy K, he's almost the exact same.
Right. They're both like pretty reactive players, right? Like they're not going to just be like, I'm going to come out swinging and just go ham. They're both kind of more like, let me see what my opponent's doing and get a feel. So I think we're going to have a pretty balanced kind of game between those two.
Yeah.
As we see early crouching medium kick lands for speed kicks, and he's got offense into the corner right away.
I love the early tech, being able to show that off. Kizzy K willing to play that defense, but not this time around. Setting it up again. Yeah, speed kicks going for the normal this time. The conditioning is already paying off, but OD uppercut, get off of me. Jackknife maximum, just runs into the heavy, unfortunate.
It's going to be the pickup here, and level 1 should be the kill.
Even without the Fujin. Oh,
enough.
I lied!
Oh, put it on the show. Nice, the overhead hits, and
nice
speed
plug.
kicks. The little
the smile on your face, I had to look over too. You devious dog. That was pretty good.
Had to be done. Kizzy trying to find that back heavy kick early.
That was smart too, to check the walk back as well with the low short.
I think if your character can do that's really strong. The ability to do like a light and then do a low afterwards is really nice to catch your opponent, and jump in lands. Baited right there. The punish counter confirmed medium into the stand heavy.
It's so tough thus far. We see Kizzy K already back into the corner. We see Speedkicks kind of buffering off with a stand heavy punch as it whiffs, but this time he makes it connects into the drive rush forward, still applying that pressure against Kizzy to jump out. Hey, that's kind of worth it for Kizzy at least.
Yeah, just to get out of the corner, and puts him in burnout, trying to find a bait. Doesn't find the throw bait that he was looking for. Speed kick staying solid. Ooh, check on that. Got to be very careful. That driver's jab into, his anti-airs have not been there so far in this set. Big bait. He's got CA for the kill. That'll do it.
Very expensive bet, but hey, it's all the way worth it. Full body massage. Oh, you thought it was over? It's buy one, get one free, baby.
The little butter at the end to get the kill. Speed kicks, one moment where you get clipped by that punish counter on the sway low.
Sway, yeah.
Oh, it hurts, man. It is such a big starter. Oftentimes, you're just eating a ton of damage. 40, 50, 60%.
Punish counter, you get the link off of crouching medium punch into it. It's so nasty. Gotcha. I love, man, the voice acting on DJ, both English and Japanese, superb.
Yeah, he sounds cool in this game. They made everything about him cooler in this game.
Yeah.
Everything.
The aesthetic of him, the way his moves are, it's so fun.
Yeah, and he's quite strong. I like that drive rush to chase from speed kicks into the corner early. And Kizzy spent a lot of time here this game. He has been in this corner a lot.
Whoa. I love the change up from speed kicks, really changing gears against Kizzy K. It's been a battle of the drive rushes thus far, right? I think these two are the most talked about in regards to how good the drive rush system is.
And
but you can't necessarily do that when there's a significant yellow speed bump right there.
Yeah. Clipping the legs of Kizzy as he tried to get in there. And so far, he hasn't really been able to make much happen. Like, I think the entire time, Speedkicks has had offense pressure. Everything's looked great. And Kizzy, he can't really initiate well. His pokes have not worked. And same reversal spot we saw last time. Kizzy lets it rip again. This time, Speedkicks with a block.
Do it again. I love that from Kizzy. As much as that would have got him killed if it was blocked, hey, man, you got to go with your heart sometimes.
And he just does the just cool just to get out of there. Doesn't do the follow-up. Oh, too far. Could have swept, maybe instead crouching medium kick, but...
No shot. Yo, speed kicks. That's the first time we've seen him do that, right?
And that's an anti-throw option. It's very strong, as you just saw. So set point now for speed kicks off of one of Kizzy's only offensive sequences getting stuck.
The one time that speed kicks guessed correctly, it led to so much, but still, Kizzy K now gets the offensive pressure that we were looking for earlier. As a DJ player, this comes up more often than not, but thus far, speed kicks has done a great job of deterring that from happening. But Kizzy K, let's see what he does with this corner control.
He finds the offense baits, and yeah, just in the right range for that. Doesn't have to spend any extra meter. He even had another drive rush after that, so well done there. Kizzy K now round on the board, and a much better offensive sequence than we've seen from him so far in these other rounds.
And I love that. Yeah, immediately after the medium kick, check into the Sobot to see if speed kicks would go for the drive rush. Indeed, he does. But now it's going to be speed kicks trying to check the lows. There's the first green light that we've seen from Kizzy K that actually gets through. No speeding ticket.
Kicks. I wonder if he tried and he just got hit right there trying to go up. Oh, caught the sway. Should spend the level 3 here to get the burnout.
That's fair. Yeah. With a significant amount of damage as well behind it. This is going to be speed kicks with full advantage. And also back towards the corner. Kizzy, this might be problematic.
Yeah. Drive impact. Oh, the buffer.
Damn. This is huge. Again, buy one, get one free, full body massage. But this damage is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it gives him a little space out of the corner. Not a lot, but... Oh, the perfect! And the punish with the driver. The reset on top of it for the kill. Speed kicks. punching his ticket into top 8 with an incredibly impressive, not only parry, but reset into drive impact that Kizzy could not stop, right? He wasn't ready for it. He didn't have super meter anyway, so he would have had to throw or jump or do something to try to get out right there, and Speedkicks was very crafty for finding that answer. That line was very smart.
2-0 off of the 2 frames you're allowed to get, and that was actually pretty impressive. And that had to be off of the read, right? Kizzy K from that space would opt to go for either a medium kick or a sobot. Majority of the time, some of the DJ players that we've seen in the realm of ranked or even in competition, they would sobot in that range. But even so, it's still very hard to react to. So even having that read is one thing, but being able to perfect parry it is a completely different thing. Speedkicks, big ups to you on that one.
Yeah, that was extremely clean. And, you know, those sobots at that range for Kizzy were working out. He landed a lot in this set. He was just landing sobot after sobot in that exact spot. And Speedkicks, you know, he's getting clipped kind of over and over by it. So this is the first time we've seen Kizzy just, like, do it. And Speedkicks like, all right, perfect answer, go.
And it was tough, too, in regards to what to do against offensive speed kicks. We talked about it earlier, right? He was playing pretty reactive in the last time we saw him on stream. But this time, you know, I think Kizzy K, again, taking the backseat on this one was so tough. We saw a little offense towards the beginning of game number 2, but it didn't last as long, to be fair. Speedkicks actually guessed correctly a bunch of times over on defense as well.
I mean, that's a lot of fighting games, right, is understanding who's the beatdown. Like, who needs to initiate and make things happen in every match. And Speedkicks, I think the way he played this was extremely impressive. He recognized kind of the pace he wanted to play and what Kizzy was willing to play as well, and did very clean in basically every range. This is the buffer. We saw that little level 3 action, and then, of course, that perfect parry. Look at the reset right here into the drive impact.
So smart, too. And there was nothing Kizzy K could do about it unless he had, like, a level 2, because level 1 does not grant him invincibility whatsoever.
Right.
So he was actually kind of drained out of there, pretty much at checkpoint, or sorry, checkmate. Why did I say checkpoint? Hello, I'm thinking about racing because of Speedkicks. But yeah, pretty much checkmate for the side of Speedkicks towards Kizzy K. 2-0, punching himself that ticket, as you said, against Nephew. Now, we're moving on into Samurai versus Viscant. Now, this is actually a matchup I was curious about. Like, Samurai, we've seen him play pretty slow pace and meticulous in regards to his approach. Viscant, I don't think he's wild per se, but he's given some pretty solid looks on offense that have gotten you second guessing majority of the time.
I think that's also like Blanca's going to initiate a bit more. You know, he's that kind of character, and especially he has really good tools to do so, right? You know, in the last matchup, there was no fireball, so Blanca Ball, a bigger threat in general, and then you can initiate with his great jump, his hop, all kinds of other options. You know, shallow light Blanca Ball to get in there. In this matchup, obviously Luke has Sandblast, so a little bit more threatening for him to just go for ball all the time. Yeah, but then Blanca has a great slide to go around it as well. So you know, he has good anti-fireball options.
Yeah, I think he has a very interesting jump. I think his jump arc has always been made to combat against fireball characters since his inception into.
Yeah, and then the other problem too is Luke jump heavy punch is such a problem for Blanca. Normally he just hits a heavy kick and he anti-airs everything, but against characters like Luke or Ken or JP who have these big jump options, he has to use
Tetris block, bam,
back medium kick a little bit more too, so it kind of throws off your anti-air options, gives you less damage. So some other looks that Blanca has to think about in this matchup.
Yeah. No doubt. So, yeah, I might have misheard you on that one. I was thinking about Blanca kind of like jumping in against Luke's Sandblast majority of the time.
No, yeah, his jump-ins are also good, as you mentioned. We were talking about both. I mean, you brought up his jump, which reminded me of Luke's jump.
Dude, his jump fierce is actually kind of nasty. I finally got around to seeing it about like a couple of weeks ago in terms of what it looked like with the hitbox.
Yeah.
That thing goes past the hurt box, man. Like, why wouldn't you use that more often to kind of jump in on there? But it's funny, like, it's pretty good. Samurai hasn't exercised that option at all yet, by the way.
I don't even know, I don't even know if he really jumped at all in the last match.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he's a grounded warrior. Feet stay planted.
He's a grounder.
There's the jump.
All right. To be fair,
jump.
you know what's really wild about that? Viscant was holding down the whole time.
Yeah. And, you know, if you're used to old Blanca, up ball is not the up ball of old games that just anti-aired everything all the time. It's a little less consistent in some spots, but it can still be a pretty solid anti-air option.
I see. Oh, that was so tricky, too. He backed up just a little bit to get that crouching medium punch counter hit, but luckily nothing of it. We see a little bit of jabs coming in to kind of test against Viscant. Got the big confirm. Oh, the jump back roundhouse. Nothing of it. What is happening?
Yeah, a little drop there. Ooh, and a whiff. Puts him in burnout early, and back medium kick doesn't hit.
Damn.
Finds the bait. And while regular DP, non-invincible.
Just raw.
Just raw.
Viscant unable to send it back. But this is kind of the spacing that we were talking about in terms of the fireball pressure. Now, he's still able to get that slide,
Space
from that far away.
Too. Oh, I like that jab check. Samurai already does have the drive gauge back early, so can spend it. And now Viscant, pretty scary spot. You know, drive impact might even just kill him. Ah, nice.
Man. man. I thought from that far, like if you do it from the other end of like the drive gauge, I figured it'd be like kind of safe, but I guess not.
Yeah, it can be tough. Oh, beast mode, baby. Level 2 early. Good corner carrying damage on this. Ooh, and try to bait a throw.
Oh.
Viscant very smart not to tech there. Just waited it out.
And I love that. The crouching heavy punch is so far away. Extra plus on that, driving on in. Oh no, counter hit conversion. There was an attempt though.
Yeah.
Level 2.
Ooh, he right away looking to bait the parry. Samurai doesn't go for it, but he also doesn't tech. Oh, his drive gauge is getting beat up here. Oh, and he throws him out of it.
There was time. There was space. That's crazy. I didn't know there was much of a gap there.
Yeah, maybe a different button would have been the one for Viscant instead. Ooh, hops in. Nice up ball confirmed too.
What's up, ball?
Oh, he tried to catch it. Not much up ball. What's up with you?
Oh no, level 1. That's what's up.
Trying to find it. Ah, that's big. Very close to killing. He doesn't have level 1 here though.
He tried to build it as much as he could. Man, the bravery. Walk up, throw a couple of steps over. That's traveling in basketball.
And you know Samurai.
Oh! Oh, come on, man. The alley-oop was there.
If he just did drive rush level 1, maybe it would have worked. Oh, he tried again. I love it. Viscant's idea there was great. It was super good. And if he had the right confirm, he could have killed. But finding it in tournament is pretty difficult.
Damn, that would have been such a good look for Viscant, being able to anti-air as Samurai takes a defensive jump wave.
Yeah. I like the idea. I like the way he's playing this matchup, too. It was a very close first game there.
I'm loving this version of Viscant, man.
Here we go.
He's going. And he's got the home field advantage. Heck yeah.
A little bait. Doesn't get like the heavy punch and a scoop, but a pretty solid little throw bait anyway. It's a big fist.
It's huge.
Crouching heavy punch. He slaps him.
Jeez, that's a big hamburger, man. Oh, boy. You tell I'm getting hungry. All right.
The burglar.
And I love that crouching medium punch. I kind of checked also if Samurai's going to go into it, but we see the drive rush back heavy punch, but now the forward throw, back roll out of there. He knows he's going to pursue it with drive rush. He's looking to do damage against the drive gauge. He's pretty close to it. Parry against the ball.
Bad spot. Yeah, this spot is no good. Gets burnout here, too. So, oh, he just let it rip, and he caught him grounded.
That's really unfortunate, too. You saw the attempt at going for the rainbow ball. You saw the startup of it. Oh, you're stuck. Oh, I thought.
Projectile.
Oh, yeah. That's unfortunate.
Very smart. That pressure is quite good in burnout because of that, right? You can just go for the fireball off the light, medium, heavy if you're opponent level 1s. And Blanca doesn't have it level 2 that's, you know, a move, right? It's like an install, so he'd need level 3 to get through there.
Right. No invincibility for Viscant. Oh, man, that's the classic. Empty jump into the low medium. Oh, missed the opportunity. I guess he's been mistiming some of these, or I guess dropping a lot of these perfect flash knuckles.
Yeah, he missed that we saw in that winter side set, and it really cost him.
Oh, we'll take that on the other side. That was a raw counter hit.
Yeah, that back medium kick found the mark.
Oh, dang, you're going to just dash up into his face like that? Yeah, I love this down medium punch. Linked into the crouch jab off of the counter hit. Break confirms. Oh, that was midair?
Yeah, but maybe not in time for Viscant to do much about it. Level 2. Very scary. That level 3 is available for Samurai as well. Wow!
That was kind of funky. I didn't think he was going to go like all the way past him.
I thought he was going to react right there. Oh, no ball confirmed. Very scary. Samurai with a lot of meter.
You are a god for that, Viscant. You are actually testing some real shaky waters with that hop.
Yeah, if that got level 3, that would have been spooky, but the timing on it was very good. He's got away with a lot of these forward hops so far, to be honest. Nice. And he gets the back heavy kick confirmed. Very nicely done from Samurai, who's going to dump this bar.
Oh, we're going out of the jungle all the way back.
Pretty even on drive gauge here, too.
That's crazy. You got Nigel Thornberry in the back documenting the whole thing.
Fellow big nose gamer. Love that. Same team.
Smashing.
Oh. A little slow on the check, but I like the attempt from Samurai. And that's burnout for Viscant, but he gets out of the corner.
Oh, I love that again. So many different looks off of the back medium kick.
Yeah, and the level 2 here is huge. Yeah, I mean, it's such a strong install. Yeah, nice check from... He knew it. He knew it.
Oh.
Samurai was so ready.
Oh, or so we thought. Ready up until this point. This is huge for Viscant. Setting up the Blanca-chan. Just got his drive gauge back. That was so funky. He was still midair.
He ran out of gauge, so he couldn't extend. This should be the kill here for Viscant. No, wrong combo. And he gets back thrown.
This is tough. The critical music is on. It's getting more intense. Where are you going? You can't go anywhere.
What a choice. Viscant was ready for it. Very nicely done.
I swear to you, man, if that was blocked, I know that Viscant was going to be plus after that, right? If
Yeah.
Samurai busted out with the OD uppercut, that would have been kind of crazy.
Or the level 1 or something.
You think Viscant would have been ready for that?
That's a great question. Does he bait there in the
Yeah,
clutch moment?
yeah.
That's the question.
Guess we'll never know. Kanye walks off the stage.
What does that mean? Oh, I like the attempt, but Samurai finds a clean little whip punish with that crouching medium punch from Luke. That button is humongo.
It's humongo.
It's humongo. It's
like
a
that.
big old move.
Can I get a side of that, please? Oh, boy. Oh, that's really unfortunate. 2+ for your own good.
And it puts him in burnout. A lock.
No,
Yeah.
the lock.
Oh, he tried it again, but a little too on the nose. Samurai ready for it.
Bad dog. Oh, boy. So got the sweep.
Oh, and he just
What a
challenged
counter.
after. Yeah, he's plus there. Oh, my. Not the kill, but chip.
Oh, all that chip with no dip. Yes, sir. Projectile again. That's the second time he's gotten stuffed out.
Yeah. Samurai smartly just choosing pressure that's good against level 1s. Level 1s universally are not projectile info.
That's just unfortunate timing. Viscant tried to go with a drive rush. Big interruption from Samurai going into throw loops. We're going to see another one. Just do it again. And that's what Viscant had thought as well. He's trying to perhaps jump.
Yeah, one more hit away for Samurai here. Ooh, big chance. Viscant almost on the level 2, by the way. Oh, and the follow-up dunk to get the kill. Samurai in a very close set cleans it up 2-1 here to make it into top 8.
A lot more experience in the Blanca matchup, the way he's been moving about, in my opinion. And, it paid off tenfold. I think overall his reads on what Viscant wanted to do, both in level 2 and just normal Blanca, was so on point.
Yeah, when he immediately jab checked the down follow-up from the install, knowing that Viscant was going to go for a throw, that was very smart. You could tell right away that he had good ideas about what to do against Blanca in the matchup, which is not always easy, right? This character, even though he's quite strong, is kind of unpopular, right? So he's not a character that you see everywhere. This right here, oh man, tough spot.
I wonder what else can you actually have done there?
He could have just drive rushed into it, I think, or he could have just maybe walked up into level 1. That might have also worked. There was a couple of ways to complete that, and I'm sure Viscant will probably look at that later. I mean, if that's one of those things where when you lose in tournament on a drop like that, you got to be like, what do I do here? And you got to go find it later on in the lab for sure.
I'm hoping it still sparks his interest enough to continue playing. I know this is like the one shot that we get for the U.S. and Canada West for someone like Viscant, but overall, right, he still understood pretty well what to do in regards to Blanca's toolkit. It was just a matter of trying to get himself out of certain situations like this, right?
Right.
This is a tough situation no matter what character you play or who you're playing up against.
Yes, I mean, it's a bad spot. The best thing to do for Blanca a lot of times is just delayed up back into ball, right? That's the default level 1 strat to beat a lot of things.
Right.
But, tough spot, and Samurai put on a lot of pressure. It sets up our final match of the day. YJK and Filipino Man. Kimberly versus Chun-Li going to be the matchup.
Now, I don't feel like we get to see this matchup too often in weeklies at this stage of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Other than ICFC, we see a bunch of YJK versus a bunch of other players. But Filipino Man, I feel like I haven't seen as much. But his Chun-Li has been very, very competent. Obviously, we've seen the power of his Chun-Li against Justin Wong previously. But overall, I've had some personal experience being able to watch him and how he practices. So it's a different story to see him as he practices in person to how he performs online.
And these two have definitely played in ranked and stuff a lot, even if they haven't been playing, maybe in tournament or run into each other. But I know that he has run into YJK quite a bit of times, right? They always seem to run into each other. So it's going to be an interesting one. There's familiarity between the two of them, obviously, in past titles, but this game as well. And, it's a matchup where it's on YJK to force, right? Kind of make things happen with Kimberly.
True.
She can't wall up like Chun-Li can in the matchup. So it's going to be a lot about how he can make that offense happen, or if he can make that offense happen, which he couldn't do against Reynold earlier today.
Yeah, I think that's the important part too. One of the biggest things that I kind of see against Chun-Li is, one, how do you get past the fireball? Number two, what are you trying to do to outspace her normals and actually get her to whiff? But I think Kimberly doesn't have to worry about both of those options too much because of her jumping elbow.
Yeah, she has the elbow drop to try to bait man-tiers, bait the Tencho kick, stuff like that, which I'm sure we'll see be a factor. And she's got slide. She's got that great standing medium kick.
Oh, the interruption too. That could have been a little bit more, maybe into a Vagabond edge, but some group. All right.
Nice. Tasu, Ender. Instead of just taking the elbow, you get the actual knockdown. Interesting. Does the forward heavy kick. No follow-up after. Just does the crouching jab. Trying to catch Filipino Man hitting a button.
Oh, that's one look that we've seen. going for the neutral jump. Now, if he goes for that option again against the run, I know for sure YJK is going to go for the drive rush forward. But it doesn't matter right now. Filipino Man getting the big offensive situation here, despite being in burnout, doing a fantastic job of deterring YJK's offense. Up until this point, this is going to be huge for YJK. Setting up all the way into the corner. Are we going to see a spray can setup? No.
No, and no level 2 either. I thought that's what we were going to see at the end. Instead, we saw the teleport. I wonder if that was supposed to be level 2 and he got teleported instead. But either way, YJK cleaning things up.
Does that happen to you when you play Kimberly?
It's happened to me. Very sad when it did happen.
I kind of chalk it up to him being from NorCal. They want to kind of go for some of these big reads and go for resets.
I like it. Filipino Man doing the crouch-only combo there.
Oh, that was so kind of so deep, actually. So deceptive. Oh. And that's so scary to jump out in the corner, too. But to be fair, her jump off the wall is also kind of hard to track down. But this is going to be so much damage. You
It's going to be death. Medium elbow.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, he dropped and then
jump
dropped
it again!
Oh, no. If you lose this round,
you deserve it, to be honest.
You got to feel bad about that, yeah. Oh, and the jump is clean. Okay. Scramble City, but he makes his offense count in the end. Spooky spot, though.
Jeez. How many times have we been to Brazil?
I know, right?
What kind of world tour is
random,
this?
Yeah.
Huh? How is every trip ending in Brazil? It's crazy. But YJK?
The world tour of only Brazil.
Yeah.
They only go to one spot.
Oh. The corner, drive rush forward.
Puts himself in burnout, though. A little dangerous, perhaps, if he gets a side swap.
There was an attempt, too, from YJK. He was looking for it. That was the initial throw.
Ooh.
And again, changing it up now off of the roundhouse. Filipino Man thinking maybe he could attack that punish counters. Everything sets it up for the overhead. That was so slick. YJK is in full control.
And a little drop. Oh, and he dashed into it. That's going to be a stun. Doesn't take the can combo. Instead, just taking some pressure here. He has level 2 available, and he spends it this time.
Totally understandable. Pretty expensive,
though,
but
right? It is. Oh,
just
my
enough.
God.
Towards the end of the neck-breaking chop. Yo, YJK spending all the resources he can to ensure that he gets himself at match point. The overhead is so tricky. OD Tencho pays off. Let's go.
Yeah, some offense there. Finally, Filipino Man trying to make something happen. Again, been frame trapped by that delayed heavy kick.
And it's so tough. Now you see YJK giving different looks. Delayed throw. You see the instant air legs to avoid the throw. Possibly get a punish. Filipino Man on the way out. Yeah, after that snappy fierce gets the back throw. Hazanchu does get blocked, and it's YJK's turn. How do you get out again? Now that's the kind of situation where you think a back throw is coming, so he's deliberately throwing out that roundhouse to blow up that tech.
And a drop there from Filipino Man. Just jab, back medium punch, no legs, no anything. Cross up, and this should be the kill here with the CA.
Oh, plenty of legs here. Sultan Ronka. You thought it was Lieutenant Dan? No, sir. This is all Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run.
And the clean up. Filipino Man, a lot of scrambly, weird drops there, but it must be nice to like seal that round and be like, okay, I'm alive. Everything's okay. I spent all my meter. At least, you know, I'm alive for another round.
Yeah. And it's still base form Kimberly, right? You haven't had to face off against her and the Toons yet.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, no spinning bird. What is going on? Big neutral jump,
that
though.
was huge. What a call out. Filipino Man. An appropriate guess against YJK's offense.
And the walk back. Nice little punish counter confirmed. No slide into level 3. I'm kind of surprised.
With a spray can.
No combo because there was a jab first. It has to be a throw right away.
Oh, that was still in range, that crouching heavy punch. It must have hit a hitbox, right? Or a hurtbox.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And this should be the kill here. Level 3 available. Double drive rush. Burnout. Doesn't matter in the end, though. YJK cleans things up. The punch his ticket into the top 8.
Cypher. Man, I love that. You can't just use... Man, that's got to be some sort of hefty fine. If you're tagging on a bridge in Brazil, that's got to be like, you know, some sort of detriment to the property. That's crazy. This Blanca's house, man.
Yeah.
Maybe he asked for it.
His mom's in the background with him hanging out, tagging on the ground. 2-0 YJK. A very, very fast match for sure. Both players, I think, play pretty fast. You know, just that's their play style. But well done. That was the story of the match. The drive rush delayed heavy kick caught like every time, I think.
Numerous times. I think it had to be like 100%, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think Filipino Man, more often than not, kind of delay techs some of the time. Actually, no, majority of the time. If it's not a button, it's delay tech from Filipino Man in regards to what he wants to do against drive rush. But to be fair, it's so hard to contest.
Yeah, that dash in there, unfortunate, right? Just like, you're already committed to the dash option, and then you end up blocking because of it, and you're just like, oh, and then it's just dead.
Mm-hmm.
Double drive rush confirmed, level 2
we
for
thought
the
this
kill.
wasn't even going to kill, right? It looked like it was going to be having Filipino Man hang on by like a single thread, but Yeah, that's the moment where we actually thought it was going to be a back throw. I mean, it's a very common thing, right? Trying to rush your way out of the corner. If the opponent's not ready for it, they would automatically assume they want the side switch. But no. Either way, Filipino Man still being able to salvage the rest of that round. It was just a little bit unfortunate towards the end, making the wrong read.
Yeah, and he woke up with a big bet on the level 1 here. Easy peasy ender. I like just doing like medium, heavy, level 3 right away, right? Don't risk it on the combo. That's like fancy. Don't even try slide or elbow cancel or anything else. So that means that he's up against Samurai here on the loser side. It sets up all of our top 8, actually. Nephew versus Speedkicks, the other match up there. And then obviously on our winner side, Reynold and Kizzy K, JB versus Snake Eyez.
It's huge. It's going to be so sick. Can we take a look at the winner's side production to kind of show off the graphic as well in case the folks at home can't really hear us? There you go. Reynold versus Kizzy K, JB versus Snake Eyez that we had just mentioned over on the winner's side. That's going to be so sick because I'm not going to lie, man. We got 2 characters that we rarely get to see in a top 8 situation, and that's obviously JP. And, no, I'm totally kidding. It's going to be Rashid and Zangief. That's going to be so cool to watch.
And a Kimberly, too. Some uncommon characters amongst the seas of Jury and JP and Ken, as you mentioned, our other characters in the top 8 so far. So yeah, we're going to have our top 8 tomorrow. Obviously, that's where that's going to be going down. Same time, same place, same channel and everything. So if you haven't already followed the channel and you're not ready to go there, make sure you do that. Come prepared tomorrow with snacks, goodies, drinks to watch our top 8 action.
And we've got so much more Street Fighter 6 left to go throughout the entirety of the Capcom Pro Tour, which was pretty much as expected considering how many people have picked up the game. But we do want to remind you folks at home that the Capcom Pro Tour registration is open for all regions now. However, there is a certain timeline where it will be closing. I think the one that's coming up the most recent right now is going to be most likely, yes, South America West. Reading is kind of difficult for me right now. I am getting kind of hungry. But I will say this, the registration is closing this Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific domestic time for South America West. Again, all the regions are currently open to register now. So sign up. And also, if you happen to be going to the 2 CPT offline events happening in Singapore and France, be sure to sign up for that as well. The offline premiere in Singapore happening October 20th through the 22nd, as well as the big offline premiere in France, November 3rd through the 5th. Again, those are your big chances to compete into Capcom Cup 10 to reach for that $2 million total prize pool. And there's still more being added to the pot as we speak. So head on over to CapcomProTour.com for all the information you need on how to sign up and register for your respective events. And this is the timeline that you could expect, right? South America West will be closing soon for the registration, and they'll be duking it out September 2nd, followed by Asia East, as well as Central America East.
Yeah, so those are the next 3 upcoming events. Of course, as you mentioned, all of the events signups are available now. So if you haven't already signed up, just sign up right now. Like, listen, don't wait. You'll forget, and you won't get it in time, and you'll be like, wait, signups are closed on Monday, but I didn't realize. Just sign up now so you don't have to think about it, whatever your region is. And that's like the best way to get it done. And also, that's not the only way to qualify, in case you guys didn't know. There's also the World Warrior. So you can use the World Warrior to, of course, qualify as well. There are World Warrior regional events that you can now sign up for in 26 different regions, and there's 26 champions, obviously, because of that, all competing for that grand prize of $1 million at Capcom Cup 10. Of course, $2 million prize pool overall. You can go over to CapcomProTour.com for more information about that. And the nice thing is that regardless of whether your event has happened or not, so, if you're in the West Coast here for North America or Canada, like our events right now, right? But you can still play in World Warrior and get that other qualifier in. So your chances to make it to Capcom Cup are, of course, EVO, which is past, the CPT Online events, which are happening right now, and World Warrior, which is also happening alongside the last 2 offline events, Singapore and France. So, those are your chances to make it. Make sure that you participate in your region's World Warrior. If you haven't already, make sure you sign up for your region's CPT event if it hasn't already happened.
And again, all of this is zooming by us very, very quickly. Just like the matches that we've had for our top 16. Now that we've established our top 8, just in case you had missed it, obviously you want to check out the VODs. But we'll give you the full-on details as we hang out here in Metro City for the Chipotle Unwrapped segment going into it. Now, you guys don't want to miss it. When we come back, we'll have our full segment breakdown with our top 16 leading into our prospects into top 8 on who we think is going to be going all the way through it right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
That sizzle, that's the soundtrack of Chipotle.
The soundtrack of Chipotle?
Oh, yeah. You come in, you're going to be hearing that sizzle. That's how you know that we always have fresh food.
Fresh is what you stand for.
Exactly.
Street Fighter 6.
Fighting is an art. And this is our canvas. Here, we flex our style, our passion, our creativity, our skills. We come here to break rules, to bend minds, to change the game. This is where we make an impression. This is where we make our masterpiece.
Street Fighter 6.
Available now.
Objection!
Welcome back, everybody, to our Chipotle Unwrapped recap show here on the Capcom Pro Tour. My favorite part of the day, because I get to talk about Street Fighter and eat Chipotle. I'm being paid to consume this, which is maybe the best news I've ever had in my life.
Hey, I'm gonna do it with you, actually. Well, I'm just gonna dip, and then we're gonna switch off, right? During this segment, I kind of like to talk about, man, you're so smart too, lifting up the microphone. You're so courteous, man.
Did you want to hear the crunch?
I mean, that's up to you. That's up to you. But as you're crunching down on the Chipotle, taking a look at what had happened in our top 16 to kind of give you a glimpse of the talent that's going to be happening in top 8. Hopefully production can pull that off. Yes, sir. The magic is there. This is one of my favorite segments, Steve. So I want to ask you personally, what was your favorite matchup to watch in this section of the top 16?
Well, I think that Snake Eyes Nephew match was like the sickest match probably, maybe of the day, maybe the most impressive match of the day, to be honest. I like that one a lot. I'm a big fan of it. I think that it was kind of setting the pace for what we were going to see and kind of like who can stop Nephew in that bracket, right? Because he's been really successful. Also, I think JB's Rashid was a big highlight. So those two playing in top 8, gonna be really fun, I think.
Man, you took my guess away, Rope. I was actually gonna have you ask me the same
Jeremy,
thing.
What's your favorite moment?
JB versus Kizzy K was actually one of the highlights for me because we actually got to see Rashid being demoed and showcased at a high level. We started to see Kizzy K also starting to make those slight adjustments as you're chowing down. Damn, you're really going in. You're hungry as heck, man. I totally get. All right, don't worry about it.
I've been eating yesterday. Go ahead. Tell me all about JB.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm really excited to see what happens whether or not JB will use Rashid against Snake Eyes because I'm kind of like dipping into the next segment of top 8. But I honestly believe that
I'm dipping in.
I think JB's stop it.
I'm dipping in again.
JB's Jamie would be pretty good against Zangief in general. But let's kind of flip the script a little bit. Let's take a look at the loser's side and take a gander at what had gone down in that segment of the pools. Now, one of my favorite matches overall, I'm going to give you some breathing time on this one, was Viscant versus 801 Strider. I actually didn't know what to expect in regards to Viscant's skill level. Now, I know for sure, he's a well-rounded player, no doubt. But it was one of the questions where it's like, is it going to be enough to take down 801 Strider's Marisa? Right. Because it was looking pretty good from all the highlights. I mean, of course, it's curated to kind of show him off on Twitter. But I was very curious to see how the Blanca and Marisa matchup would go in the hands of 801 Strider.
Notice,
so it was really impressive.
No Marisa player's Twitter is like them failing an anti-air and then dying. It's like, oh, look at this. I hit this sick 80% combo. And they were like, look, I won. I did all this stuff. Like, nobody uploads like, hey, guys, what's up, guys? It's your boy back at it again, making this live YouTube video. As you can see here, I missed the anti-air, and then I go for a punish counter. I don't get the punish counter. I do the wrong combo, and then my opponent kills me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Like, it's just them winning. So it was nice to see Marisa in her natural habitat getting beat up a little bit by some other characters, and see Viscant look really impressive. I noticed you loaded my bowl up with more chips, actually.
Yeah, you were looking a little bit lackluster in chips. So I wanted to hook you up, right? I didn't want to hold it all to myself.
Oh yeah,
I did have considerably more chips than you did, I think.
So maybe our final thoughts for this. Who do you think is the favorite tomorrow? Who are you excited to watch? What do you think's going on?
So I kind of mentioned it, JB versus Snake Eyes specifically because I haven't seen really Snake Eyes compete in a lot of these tournaments that we've been kind of accustomed to watching every single week. There's so many different weekly looks to look at, and Snake Eyes hasn't been a part of any of it. So I'm really kind of curious to see how he performs against a veteran of the tournament scene currently. I mean, in 5 as well as transferring over to 6 in a matchup that I feel like favors Jamie specifically. So that's two of my big concerns is how Snake Eyes is going to do, and whether or not JB commits to Jamie.
I think also Rashid he's got some good stuff in the matchup too because he can just do full charge whirlwind shot and then mixer Geef, and Geef's like, well. So
plus frames,
yeah, that might be good too. But my guess is that the winner of Reynold versus Chris CCH is the favorite, mostly because I think both of them should probably be favored maybe in the matchup that we have on the bottom side there. And honestly, as long as Chris CCH wins, I think he's probably the favorite for the tournament. He's for everybody left, since Chris T especially is not here, the other Chris is I think a very good safe bet to lock in as probably the favorite for everything going down here.
So the other two segments, obviously in the loser side, is going to be very familiar, right? YGK versus Samurai, at least familiar to themselves. They are very much so in generally the same area. Now, Samurai, it's a big misconception that he's NorCal. He's actually SenCal, but he also finds his way up there to compete in some of the big tournament locals that they have up in San Francisco, ? It's not San Jose, but it's definitely San Francisco, right? I'm not sure about
He
my
do be
geography.
traveling.
My geography in NorCal is
No.
all jumbled up. But Speedkicks and Nephew, that's no surprise either in regards to like how often they face off against each other
Right,
in
yeah.
weeklies. More often than not, I will say that Nephew has historically had the better record against Speedkicks
I
in the
think so.
Jury Mirror.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the raw data, but that would be my instinct to say. But they're both pretty solid. I could see it going either way, to be honest. But yeah, it should be a nice little top 8. I'm looking forward to it. And I appreciate Chipotle for the chips. It was pretty tasty. Are you going to finish those?
I was, but I'm starting to like choke a little bit because my throat's a little dry. So you could go ahead and handle that.
Yeah. Tell them all about tomorrow and stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to be pretty much the Chipotle Unwrapped segment. We're going to be doing this at the same time tomorrow. The stream technically starts at 4:30 Pacific Domestic Time with no neutral and the pregame segments, kind of highlighting the other CPTs previous. But we will be starting all the action of Top 8 at 5 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. We'll be here, and we sure are going to expect you to all be there at the same time. In the meantime, that's it for our top 16 here for U.S. West and Canada West. We hope you guys have enjoyed. Be sure to keep on going with the chips. I just wanted to make sure if you're going to keep going or if I'm going to sign off. This is Sajam. Glad to have him back. He's going to be back tomorrow, as well as myself, Vicious. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you for more of the Capcom Pro Tour Top 8 at the same time. Take care.